Isn't that Pyramid Head so good? Send your chat army to tag Lost and Colt and pressure them into reprinting. I know, man. I'm at least glad I got the vinyl. Like I would have been distraught if I missed out on the vinyl and the art book. So I'm at least glad that I have the vinyl, because that's more important to me than the art book. But I am sad that I missed the art book. So hopefully I'll have another chance. Okay, so we started out on the hardest difficulty last time, which had a permadeath function. And I knew I shouldn't have, but we did. And I ended up dying. And then we got fucked by a permanent glitch dice. So we restarted on normal difficulty and spammed through to catch up to where we left off. So now we don't have the permanent glitch dice. So basically, see, I think this is the right. Listen, several people said playing on the hard difficulty was the way to go, and I listened, and I shouldn't have. I should have went with my gut and played the difficulty I knew I should have played on. So basically, if I remember what happened so far, we're a sleeper, and we were in the middle, with the game started off, we were in the middle of some process with a friend where he was kind of like hacking us to fix us so that we would no longer need stabilizer because we were in the process of escaping S and ARP. But something went wrong in that process, and while I don't think we need stabilizer anymore, our memory was like totally wiped. And so we didn't even like know who our friend was. We didn't know what we were doing. So we escaped. We made it to some place called Hexa something, I think. We picked up some work, did a few jobs. We stole some food lines for the ship because our ship was damaged. We met another friend on that place, and we ended up leaving that place as fast as possible because we stole the lines for the ship. Then we found out that that place actually ended up exploding, and we don't know why. And now we're on the spindle. Hi, Devil, welcome in. A sleeper, so a sleeper is basically a human mind's. Also, let me know if the game is too loud again. A sleeper is basically a human mind that has been implanted into a cybernetic body to work off like debt with a company or whatever. It's not like an upgrade like you would think in like cyberpunk, like upgrading to a cybernetic body. It's like a punishment, basically. Is it still a bit loud? Maybe that. How's that? Okay, so we already cleared most of the spindle in the first playthrough when we realized that these dice glitches were gonna be permanent, so that's when I decided to restart. So we need to redo all of this. Okay. So I guess we'll start. So we just got here with our friend. I think we're with, I don't remember their names, unfortunately, but we're with our main friend that we started the game with. And this time we actually have the other friend we made from the last place. She blew it up the first time. Okay, so we're, I think, trying to just like unlock the spindle and like do some research and figure out who's here, what's here, what kind of jobs we can get here. Hi, Elder, welcome in. We're a copy of a human mind that's legally sort of not a proper person, and the original human is in hibernation or such. Yeah, exactly. Which the cynic in me wonders if that is even true. Like, I could easily see a corporation just disposing of your body, like.
Tues.
Hi, Horde, thank you for the 20 months. Thank you. Appreciate you. How you doing? All right, so explore. Roam the docks. Help the residents. Underhang residents couldn't afford to rent farther up, so they came here to build their own units. They are always in need of repair work. I think I did this one first. Oh god, these glitch dice suck. Matt, I can't give subs because Twitch is broken for you. That's weird. It might be like your payment method or something. I'm doing good. I'm a little eepy, but I'm good. I'm sorry you're mad. I hit 1 million Labubu's, now tell AP he can buy them all from me. What the hell? Damn, I actually got a positive result with that glitch dice. That's crazy. Can we get 2 for 2? No. Did you try like clearing out your like cache and like all that data, Horn? That could help. Spindle's Edge. Most of the far spindle workers don't like going out to seal up the new units, so they leave that tiring and dangerous work for outsiders. Earn a meal. Nice. All right. Off to a decent start. I tried everything, and when I go to change my payment method, it says unsub. So I go to unsub, and it says I'm not subbed to anyone and have never been gifted any subs. Also cleared the cache. That is really strange. That is very, very weird. I would just check a different browser and see if it's still fucky that way. All right, repairing the rig. Let's go ahead and end this cycle, I guess. Oh yeah, do I have a guy? We haven't unlocked the thing to fix dice yet, right? Hi, Sergeant, welcome in. Well, we had a bit of a rough start, Horn, because I started on the hardest difficulty and died. And while it does let you continue, like if you just lower the difficulty, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was still registering that I was on the hardest difficulty, but it made it so that my glitch was like permanent. So I was forever going to have a permanent glitch for the rest of the playthrough. So I decided to just start fresh on normal. So hi, Tree Hugger, welcome in. Yeah, it was pretty tough. Like, hi, Mountain. So other than that, I've been enjoying it. It was a bit of a rough start, unfortunately. All right, let's try this. Positive, 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 positive. Nice. I didn't get any towards this, but that's okay. Okay. Explore the core. Okay, so we have to do that one. I do not have the skills for the other. All right. Looking good. Nice. The far spindle lives up to its name, its tall stature making it a real effort to travel from end to end. The local solution to this problem are the transit tunnels, massive tubes bolted onto the outside of the spindle that allow for rapid passage from bottom to top. Oh, are we about to meet that biker kid? As you find yourself in one of these cavernous passages, bulky cargo haulers rushing by you, you start to wonder if braving them is worth the effort. Back up! The shout rattles down the bare transit corridor like a gunshot and is rapidly followed by a crunching impact. You spin back, pushing yourself against the side of the wide cylindrical passage. As you do, a hauler glides past, sending a rippling wave of air across you in its wake. When the roar subsides, you hear a string of expletives coming from nearby. A spiky-looking figure, clutching some oddly shaped open-frame object, gestures wildly at the vehicle as it glides away. Dickhead, she spits an impressive glob of saliva down the tunnel and it spirals in 0G. She turns to you in her anger. You see that? Tried to slam me into the wall. I didn't. Total dickhead. Total dickhead. Good luck, Thro! I hope you have a good day at work. She nods firmly. No shit. Haulers hate us. She sniffs and looks you up and down. Not supposed to be in the transit system without a vehicle, she squints. Not like I care, but maybe you do? Right, sorry. Like I said, don't care. She rolls one of her shoulders, stretching it out. You're new here, right? Is it that obvious? She shrugs sympathetically, nothing to be ashamed of. Let me give you a tip. She begins checking her open frame vehicle, tightening bolts and untangling pipes. Jesus Christ, holy Horn! Thank you! Horn's like, Twitch may be down, but I can still do this. Horn, thank you so much for the contribution to the wallet on Throne, dude. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. He's like, I cannot be stopped or contained no matter what browser I'm in. She begins checking her open frame vehicle, tightening bolts and untangling pipes. Avoid the haulers. Dickheads, the lot of them. Especially the water haulers. Think they're better than anyone. Don't mess with the Stevdors, though. They're good people. Get treated like shit by everyone else, just like us. She rapidly plugs and unplugs a series of connectors. They'll show you the shortcuts. I know, Horn, we were talking about in stream last night. Thank you, Horn, I appreciate it. She looks up and never ever get in a Spindlejack's way. She smiles, spinning the vehicle in her hand. Spindlejack? She thumps her chest. You're looking at one. She pauses, considering something. Then suddenly, she reaches into one of her many pockets and pulls out a small, transparent rectangle punched with holes. Text glints within it, reading, Cadet, Stripline Express. You take it. Cadet. She flexes proudly. That's me. Stripline's my outfit. Kamal's the dispatcher. Small outfit, but we punch above our weight. Dispatch is here in the Spindle's core, but I run the transit tunnels up and down the Spindle 10 times a cycle. You need anything moving on the Spindle? Data, tech, messages too hot for the hardline? Come find me. You're a courier? Got it in one. She kicks off the wall and mounts her bike, triggering a small burst of compressed air to keep herself steady in the transit passage. You hear a buzz of distorted speech from what you assume is her dispatcher. Cadet angles her head to her communicator and mutters back into it. Gotta hop, sleeper. She looks over at you, and something flickers in her eyes. An idea? Or perhaps just a realization. You might be able to help me with something. Package that's been bothering me. Sheesh! What the hell? Ain't no way. Members. Is that real members? Jesus Christ. Wait, is that real members? Why is he sipping like that? Members! Is that actual members? Holy shit! Thank you so much for topping off the goal for the wallet. What the helly? Thank you, it's so pretty. Vivian Westwood wallet. I'm spoiled. I'm absolutely bloody spoiled. It was always actual mevs though. And the prophecy has been foretold. Members, dude, thank you so much. I am spoiled rotten. Thank you. I love that wallet so much. I can't wait. Thank you, thank you. Actual members. Holy heck, man. Not the fake members, the real one. Dude, thank you. Happy Friday. Happy heckin' Friday. Come to the office at Stripline in a few cycles and I'll show you. Sure. We'll call it a favor on account of me saving you from being flattened by a hauler. She winks. Now, you better get out of here before another hauler tries to squish you. You step back as she twists the handlebars and a burst of air sends her flying down the transit corridor at an unsettling speed. You watch her go, slightly caught off guard by her final remarks. What would a courier need you for? You turn the idea over in your head as you find a way out of the transit corridor, back to the safety of the main concourse. New location discovered, new drive available. Cadet's complication. Cadet mentioned needing help with something, but you are still at a loss to know what the courier might want. So you just have to wait for this. Dude, Mevers, thank you so much, dude. What the fuck? All right, I guess we'll drop our last dice here. Roam the docks, can't do that one. Study the manifest. With so much freight flying around, seems safer to cozy up with the terminal and study the manifest to learn this place. Let's do that. Finish painting Ghastly Hunter and Gengar. Hell yeah, you gotta post pics. I bet it looks great. Okay. As you glide through the Pinnacle docks, you hear shouting echoing down a corridor. You tentatively change direction, your eyes fixed ahead as the passage widens out into a large bay. Others rush past you, heading towards the commotion. Your eyes are drawn by the bay's vast viewing window, which is currently being spattered with glittering shards of ice. And oh my god, you guys are scaring me, dude. Okay, that's a fake Members. That's a Members imposter. Thank you for the Taiyaki photo card holder. Thank you. Jern's gonna look so cute in a little Taiyaki fish cookie photo holder on my purse. Thank you so much. I settled the remaining chunk of medical debt I had. I made my last payment. Next time my back hurts, I'll just die. Dude, that's actually huge, Members. I'm so happy for you. Also, totally valid. But that's gotta feel so relieving. Like, debt is so frustrating and so just soul crushing. So I'm so happy for you, Members. Thank you so much, dude. Des suggested I lube up some washes on it. Lube it up, Horn. Chat really wants some. I know. We gotta put the Resident Evil 1 on the playlist here shortly. Thank you guys for all the gifties today. Thank you. I appreciate it. You can buy real Lucky Charms again? Hell yeah. None of that fake store brand shit. In front of it, a dock worker is shouting to anyone who will listen. Girl, he didn't show up for the last like 4 RE games I played. He said that, and then I played Resident Evil 7. I proceeded to play Resident Evil 4 Remake, 8. He never came back. Hi, Bjorn. Spacers, workers of the Far Spindle, we need your urgent assistance. The water carrier Springtide has suffered heavy damage in its transit from Wellspring. He takes a breath. All able hands, we need you to help secure the cargo. Without this water, Far Spindle will struggle to support you. He looks desperately at the crowd. Please, any who are able to help, please make yourself known. Behind him, a corona of ice ejects from one of the tanks, drawing a pale halo around the ship. A handful of experienced-looking spacers push through the crowd toward the front, and dock workers start to direct them to nearby bridges. You watch the scene unfold, hesitant in the face of making someone else's problem your own. New drive available. All right, well, we're out of dice. Oops. Maybe this time, you're right. You're so right. Okay, so this is where we buy stuff for the ship. It's another food place. Order a rack. Getting racked. The freelancers of this Far Spindle seem cagey, but spend enough time at a local bar, they'll warm to you. Okay. This is to buy scrap. We got good rolls this time. You awake to the sound of blaring proximity alarms. You quickly unstrap from your bunk and dizzily glance around. Lane? Bounty hunters? You kick off and glide to the door. As you do, Bliss pops their head around the corner. Sorry. They look a little sheepish. In all honesty, it's not my fault. Your wiring's all backwards. Takes you a moment to understand what's happening. You steady yourself against the door frame. Sorry, I'm just a little jumpy. I get it. Bliss looks down. Didn't mean to wake you. It takes you a while to get ready and drift down to the mess to see what's happening. By then, Bliss has turned off the alarms. You find them unspooling wires from a hatch you'd never previously noticed in the mess's ceiling. Sorry again, sleeper. Their voice comes through the ceiling panels, muffled and dull. You settle out a stool, neatly tucking your legs behind the crossbar. How are the repairs coming? Bliss spins deftly, hooking their legs into the open ceiling so that, from your perspective, they're hanging upside down. Almost done, if you can believe it. Their messy hair floats around their head. A couple of cycles worth of diagnostics, and I'll be happy enough to release her back to you. Back to the Corp. I've left the idiots alone for almost 30 minutes. I'm sure they fucked something up. Good luck, Mabbers. I hope the rest of your Friday goes well. Thank you again, dude, so much. I hope people are nice and stay out of your way today. A yawning Seraphim drifts in. He looks between the two of you, amused. Okay, Seraphim is our friend from like the very beginning. What are you both doing up so early? You and Bliss exchange amused looks. What? Seraphim asks. You didn't hear the alarm? He shrugs, heavy sleeper. He drifts over to the mess's cupboards to hunt for some breakfast. You turn back to Bliss, but they've disappeared back into the ceiling panels. Before long, the mess is filled with the shrill screech of a power tool. Seraphim looks totally unaffected and hooks himself onto a stool, lazily sucking at a ration pouch while he taps away at his slate. The screech finally stops. After a while, you kick off from your stool. Time to head out. Bliss rushes after you, stopping you in the passageway before you can leave. I have something I want to show you. Bliss leads you off the main corridor into a corner of the ship you don't remember visiting before. You come into a room with low slope ceilings, a single round window illuminating some neat tool storage, and a workbench set into the wall. I think that would be a neat alert noise. That noise that you get. It's almost like I imagine it's almost like your slate ringing or something, but like, that could be a cool like resub alert or something. That noise that you get when like text pops up. Look, Bliss begins. I'm no specialist, but I'm a quick learner and good at repairs. They smile, and I think you have a need of me. I might need to grab it. Maybe I changed my resub alert. I haven't changed the resub alert in like 5 years. Hi, what are you doing, baby? You wanna come say hi? Are you in your crazy mode? Come here. She's just looking at me. It's Harvey. I've been meaning to yoink the 2077 message alert from my phone, but been lazy. Yeah, I might need to like figure out how to yoink it and make it the resub sound. Come here. She's like so within reach, but cats do this thing where they'll be within reach, but as soon as you try to make a grab, like they go flying. Got her. She's squirmy. She doesn't want to be held right now. She's in her crazy mode. Hi. She goes from being like the most affectionate cat ever, mother unhand me, I must shadow box, to like not wanting to be touched. But she is actually, me and AP were just talking about this yesterday, she's like the most affectionate cat I've ever met. Like her and Ray are so different. Like she cuddles so much. Altered! You're gonna get behind on your deliveries, mate. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. They glance at you at a... Wait, they glance at you at a tear in the thick vinyl skin of your arm. Can I take a look? They smile and lead you towards the workbench. They turn your arm, looking at the tear from all angles. They reach over to the workbench and take a small sealant gun from the rack. You look at the setup. It's basic, but it looks clean and well organized. Just for an hour or two, or 3. They gently close the tear with sealant, pressing the edges together so it closes up neatly. After they're done, they release your arm and you can barely see the scar. Bliss admires their work. See? They smile. I know it's more serious than a tear, Bliss folds their arms, but I can handle it. They turn and search through a set of metal drawers for a moment. Here, they produce a couple of carefully machined, pristine components. Was saving these for an important job. They wink. I guess I just found it. Bliss pushes the components into your hands. Take them. When you're ready, come up here and we'll fix you up. These are a rare find though. In future, we might have to make do with something lower quality. They wince. You can find scrap components at most scrapper ships, like that one that's hanging around the underhang. The better the components, the easier they'll integrate with your system. Bliss leans on the workbench. I'll do my best to keep you running. Hi Hash, welcome in. Why help me? You're a guest in my bay and I can't have my guest bodies collapsing, now can I? Plus, I think it benefits me if you think of me as indispensable. Bliss smiles. I should get back to fixing the ship. They leave you in the workshop among the simple tools, considering the particular qualities of your new friend. All right, we got our workshop. Dice repair is now available. Visit the rig workshop above. You can repair your dice at the rig workshop. You can only repair dice which are fully broken. Repairs require either scrap components or rare components. The better components you'll use, the less glitches you will suffer. You cannot repair dice during a contract. Okay. Oh look, it's Vont. Oops. Okay, so I can't repair this one yet because it's not fully broken. Okay, let's see here. Gotta wait one more cycle for cadet. All right, we gotta work on this, I suppose. One upgrade point available. New location discovered. Ooh, do I have... Sheesh! I have 5 points? I think I upgraded one of these the first time around. -1 stress on focus die positive outcome. Plus, how does this work again? Accrue stress to focus an action dice. So when you're stressed, +1 stress, +2 to lowest dice. That's as many as 5 ones. True. That's some crazy math work. Crazy math work, mate. Or do I want to upgrade my skills? This is always so tricky. I must want to at least upgrade this so that I can at least have some sort of stability and endure. Or 7 ones if you grow math. Huh? I think I'm gonna put it in this because I can't quite remember how this works. I need to do a contract. So like this is all a little hazy to me at the moment. I'm gonna do this. That way we at least have some endure, because these will seem very easy to upgrade since they're only 2 points. I need 4 points every time I want to upgrade one of these, so I'm gonna do that. -1 stress on the focus die, positive outcome. I just don't remember how it goes about picking. Oh, this is my ability, isn't it? I get 1 ability per like cycle where I get to do something with a dice. Okay. Oh, I tried to find the sound but couldn't find it. You're gonna have to yoink the sound from a VOD. Yeah, I will have to do that, I think. I think I will. I just need to find time to do that maybe this weekend. Thanks for looking, Taters. It's such a niche indie game. I would not be shocked that the sounds aren't available. Okay, so is this just like work to do? Oh, this is the water thing. Okay. Springtide crew and spindle dock workers are desperately appealing for any qualified bodies to help them. See? It's a good thing that I added, because now I can do either one of these. Yeah, the issue though, and I'm not asking Taters to do this because I'm a perfectionist OCD person. I kind of want to go through a few and make sure that there's like no other like background noises happening. I think that it's a pretty isolated sound, but I want like a clear, it's like the only main, like I don't want any background, if that makes sense. And again, I'm not asking or telling Taters to do that, but I'm just saying he doesn't need to waste his time making a clip, because I'll go through and find like a few. I'll look through a few of them through probably last week's VOD and get the best one. Venture bar shifts. Only vouch for members can gamble on the venture, but bar shifts are easy to come by, mostly because they pay in tips and a little more. Okay, so that's engage. I can't do that at all. Silence, my noise is coming up. Can make us save, then off stream turn off the music background sounds to get a clean alert. Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through last week's VOD, because I think we probably, or even like, honestly, my old playthrough VODs too, because that noise is in the first game as well. The signal station searches for signals in the far spindle's local region. Sorting them is too much work for just the crew. Signal station makes use of the network of arrays across the far spindle, synchronizing them as specialist work. All right, well, we need to help with this, I guess. Nice. And then I'll probably drop my 1 die here. Okay. Now we end this cycle. Hexport, that's what that place was called. Hexport's demise has put a barrier between Darkside and the far spindle. Lane can't follow, so for now you are safe. So I don't know what to do about this. It's just counting down. You jerks suddenly awake. A fragment's lodge in your mind, a shard of sound, a signal, a tone. It resonates like tinnitus, obviously internal, inescapable. You look down to see your hands blurred, your fingers dancing as if they were typing. Settle them. Your fingers flap like caught birds. It takes all your focus to settle them. You force yourself back into them, a sensation like squeezing on a tight pair of gloves. You flex your hands a little to feel them, test them. What was that? You take a deep breath to calm yourself, but as you do, you're reminded that you don't need to breathe. It's a claustrophobic sensation that you cannot shake. You get up, push off the wall, pull on your clothes, anything to escape the dreams that hover there at the back of your mind. Seraphin drifts in casually, heading to his bunk to grab something. You can't shake the strange sensation that he has just drifted into your mind. He shoots you a glance. I said, are you okay? He gives you a concerned look. You look terrible. Not really. You mumble a response. You need to talk to me, Sleeper. Seraphim gives you a look. He sighs. I know something happened back when we were leaving Hexport. What do you mean? I saw it, Sleeper. Saw something change in your eyes. He pauses, looking for the right way to explain. They were cold, fixed. I've never seen that before. He looks away. Back when we first met, I knew at once you were human. I knew because of your eyes. I'd never met a Sleeper before, but I knew immediately that you were no machine. It was obvious. But then, on the rig, he shivers. I couldn't see that anymore. I don't know what happened. What'd it feel like? He gives you a curious look. Oh, doesn't this, like, give me stress? I have a 50% neutral outcome. Surely. Bruh. Fucking damn it. You close your eyes and recall the moment. Immediately, you feel your fingers begin to tremble and jerk. You tense against the feeling of an invisible hand closing its grip on your mind. Sleeper, Seraphim's voice interrupts your thoughts. You open your eyes to his concerned face. Are you okay? We need to get you checked up. We need to know what's happening. Seraphim gives you a stubborn stare. This isn't just about you. But where? I've been asking around. Seraphim's face is set with determination now. There's another station near this one. Flotsam. It's a mess, an accumulation of wrecks and dock ships, but it also houses some of the best artificers in the wash. We should go there as soon as the rig's ready. Okay. Thank you. Look, he pauses. I know I don't know what it's like to be a Sleeper. I understand there are things you can't tell me, can't show me, but I do know how fear can keep you from doing what you need to do. I'm not gonna nag you about it, he sighs, but it needs to be done. He passes by you as he leaves the bunks, squeezing your shoulder as he does, leaving you to your thoughts. You finish getting dressed, feeling your body, its strangeness, even though you wish you didn't. At the very least, you think you need to find someone who can stop you falling apart. Maybe Flotsam is not such a bad idea. You push the thought to the back of your mind. There's a cycle ahead and the rig isn't ready. When it is, then you'll see. Michael, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate it. That noise is nice too. The drive update noise. Sleeper. Cadet drifts from the shadows outside Bliss's Bay. Looking around nervously as she approaches. Seems like I'm going to need a call in that favor. Her face is pale and deathly serious. Okay, I think this is new. I think we're officially caught up to where we like played through the first time. Are you okay? She doesn't seem to hear you, distracted by a group of spacers gliding noisily down the passage behind her. She waits until they pass. Someone hit stripline. No idea where Kamal is. Bunch of goons tearing the place apart as we speak. She screws up her face in pain. Even tried to grab me, but those muscleheads are slow. Who would attack a courier? No idea, she shakes her head. These were typical rent-a-thugs. Could have been anyone with chits to burn. Remember that package I asked for your help with? The one that was bothering me? Remember you mentioning it? I reckon it's got something to do with it. The job was a bus, an express run all the way to the underhang, but when I got there, no one home. She's whispering now, leaning closer. Place was smashed up, like someone got there first. Should have dumped the package and run, but I brought it back like a good girl. Stashed it in a safe spot at Stripline. Thought the center might come to recover it, and when they didn't, well, I got curious and popped it open. She shakes her head. Stupid thing to do. Inside was a drive encrypted to hell and back. When I ran into you, well, I heard Sleepers are good with data, with tech, so I thought you might be able to take a look at it, she shrugs. Now Stripline's trash too. Here's the thing, she glances around. Back when I popped it open, I noticed the drive had a dispatch marker. Hexport. Could it be connected to Hexport's getting atomized? Yeah, that's where I'm at too. This thing was sent out from there just before it got cooked. She pauses. And with that kind of attention I've been getting the past couple of cycles, she slips a hand terminal from her bag, taps a couple times, then holds it up to you. Cadet stares out at you from the screen, straight-faced and pale. Beside her picture, you see in block capitals, Spindlejack KD754 in breach of FAR Spindle Code B12 plus F34. Reward for information leading to capture. Considered dangerous. Dickheads blasted it out on the transit channels. Every Spindlejack, hauler, and freight carrier is going to be watching for me. She pulls back the hand terminal angrily, stuffing it away in her bag. Something's going on. Anyone who can help? She looks away. Spindlejacks don't make friends easily, and now all the couriers I do know are looking to turn me in for a payout. She snaps her head to the side, her eyes flashing with anger. Why do you think I'm here? It's time for that favor, Sleeper. She meets your eye. My connections are burned. Hell, my whole career is gone. I need to fight back. If I walk away, there's nothing to walk away to. She softens a little. I need your help. What can I do? I need you to get the drive. She takes a breath. If they want it that much, then I can use it to buy my way out of this shit show. And I tucked it away somewhere safe, so my guess is they haven't got it yet. You just slip in, I'll give you the location, and pull the thing out. She folds her arms. Should be simple. None of this is simple. Just snatch it and go. Don't overthink it. Look, this thing turns out to be worth something. You'll get your due. All I want is my life back. The drive's in the workshop. There's a loose panel behind the airbike rack. She leans in. It's taped to the back of the fuse box inside. I've got to keep heading down Spindle to the overhang, past the end of the transit tunnels. No one will rat me out there. She glances around. I'll come find you when it's done. I've still got some network access. I'll know when you go in. She winks, offering no further explanation. My bike's locked up nearby. I'm gonna hop. She pauses. Do me this favor, then we're clear. Stay safe. Doing my best, Sleeper. She gives you a mock salute. She slips back into the shadows, and a few moments later, you hear the percussive pulse of an airbike accelerating away. You know, at least what it's like to be on the run, to flee your life, and in that, you feel an empathy, a connection with Cadet. But from every other angle, this thing looks like bad news, the kind a sensible person would steer clear from. And perhaps you would steer well clear if it wasn't for one detail that's stuck in your mind. The drive is from Hexport. Is all that enough to send you down to Stripline in search of that drive? Only time will tell. All right, that's pretty crazy. Cadet's some deep shit. We're also in some deep shit. A perfect foundation for friendship. Trauma bonding. Exactly. I don't remember how to get rid of stress. Or is that what the workshop... Wait, how do you get rid of stress? I don't remember. This is just for dice repair. Oh, just sleep? Okay, so just ending the cycle. Okay. All right, we gotta help this situation out. No. Well, literally sleeping, that's an action you can do in this ship. Oh, okay. You gotta roll your sleep success. Great. You watch from the docking bay's viewing window as the crumpled, vast hull of the Springtide is finally welded shut by a score of bright torches flickering against its tide. Everywhere I look, I see a crisis. The voice comes from beside you, and you turn to see a man floating there, watching the repair work. You don't recognize him. I saw you out there, helping the crew. He turns to you with a serious look. The FAR Spindle needs that water. You aren't wrong. He pauses, watching you carefully. I haven't seen you on the Spindle before. What, if I may ask, is your business here? I'm running a crew. I see. Springtide's my ship. His face remains impassive. At least, I'm her captain. I don't own her. The Lodex Syndicate, my employer, was the one to put her into service. Glad to meet you. He bows his head gently. You have my thanks for assisting with the repairs. We were caught by some autonomous convoy munitions. He looks out at his ship. The wellspring run's getting more dangerous every cycle. And after Hexport, he pauses. I don't expect things to improve. You both go quiet for a moment, the loss of the station still inspiring silence in anyone who mentions it. Tell me, Malik meets your eye. As a sleeper, do you feel you have advantages over others, or does your particular condition provide only weaknesses? Damn. What are our advantages as a sleeper? I suppose our only real advantages are with like tech and stuff. Everything else kind of is a downside. Advantages, of course, are... I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that. Yeah, no need to breathe, true. Or eat, really, I don't... Well, we do eat, though, actually, somehow. Hi, Bane, welcome in. Apologies. Malik gently raises his hands. You're only the second sleeper I've met. I asked because you have impressed me. Was he... Wait, is he from the DLC of the first one? He seems familiar. Did he... Was he part of the flotilla in the DLC of the first game? Maybe the first sleeper he met was us in the first game. I can't remember, but he seems kind of familiar. He gestures toward the springtide. Your work on my ship only evidences your abilities. You far outperformed even my own crew. He looks to you, angling his head in defense, in conditions that are usually deadly. Sadly, despite even your good work, our losses have been great, and the administration at the Far Spindle are not happy. We're to be impounded here until the Lotic Syndicate fulfills the agreed water freight. He frowns at the crumpled-looking ship. This war continues to pressure the belt. He's not? Okay. What will you do? This is where you're needed, sleeper. Malik folds his arms. My crew tells me you have a ship. You have workers. This is what I need. As we fled from the Conway attack, our navigator registered something of great interest. A water-rich asteroid, one I believe is previously unknown to the syndicates. He comes a little closer. For now, I've sworn him to secrecy, as I must you. But if this asteroid could be surveyed, its value confirmed, it would more than make up for the shortfall of the springtide. He pauses thoughtfully. How does this involve me? Patience, sleeper. I'm coming to that. I want you to survey the asteroid for me. It's a simple enough job, but its location so close to the edge of the wash, it's problematic. However, you have shown yourself to be very competent. If you're careful, there's no reason you should have problems with Conway or any other hostile party for that matter. Hostile party? Malik shrugs. The wash is where the orbits of the inner system and Starward belt conspire to bring vessels, objects, and all kinds of wanderers together. It's a territory of opportunists. I will, of course, reimburse you with a portion of the fee the Far Spindle administration are withholding from me. 250 cry is my offer. Why not do it yourself? As I've said, my ship and crew are impounded. Meanwhile, I do not believe the Lotic Syndicate would appreciate me taking their ship on this particular excursion. Malik passes you a thumbnail drive. Here are details on the tests I need you to run for the survey. A sample core of ice from deep within the asteroid should give you enough material to work with. You notice a member of the Springtide's crew waiting quietly at a distance, and Malik nods to them discreetly. This is a delicate matter, sleeper. Survey the rock, and on your return, broadcast the results to my personal terminal. The frequency's in that data. He pauses, meeting your eye. The results go to me, only to me. Then, once the matter's resolved, you'll be paid. I'm needed, he nods to the crew member, but I expect you have all you need. He pauses. I've enjoyed watching you work, sleeper. Impress me again. And with that, he bows a little and drifts away to meet his crew member. After watching him go, you turn back to the Springtide. Still impressive, despite being scarred with curls of ice and shiny with fresh welds. You imagine any captain of a ship like that has been through a lot to get to where they are. That makes them a valuable ally or a dangerous adversary, depending on where you are. You hope with Malik you can find your way to being the former. New contracts available. There's always this solution to the problem. I can't do that. Not in this game. Okay, so -1 stress on the focus die, positive outcome. +1 to affected dice. Affected dice. I'll do -1 stress now, and then I'll do a +1 to affected dice. Actually, I'm gonna do +1 to affected dice. Fuck it. Okay. Hi, Luke. Welcome in. How's it going? Okay. Wow. So we have a new contract. We have to help Cadet. And this timer is timing. All right, let's help Cadet. Oops. Was off work today, so I was visiting family. Hell yeah. I hope you had a good day off. Good luck, taters. Okay, so this is where we help Cadet, I guess. Scope security. Cut your way in. Strip line is nested among other units, each with a mess of ducts and access to passages. There must be a back door or a way to make one. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna use these dice to get this project underway, though. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Nice. Okay. And then I'll go spend this at the food. Just to be safe, you can only ever choose one or the other, not both skills boost at the same time. Right, one or the other per tree though. So like I can do +1 on that tree, and then the next time I upgrade, I can do the -1 stress on the second tier. We discussed that last stream, right? I can basically go zigzag if I want to. Okay, so we gotta end this cycle. Yeah, okay. Zigzag, yeah. Okay, so I need a dice to do this. That's annoying. I wish stress just went away per cycle. We're technically sleeping anyway. As you drift lazily down to the ship's mess, you hear raised voices. You still yourself for a moment at the entrance, then slip inside. Seraphin sits hooked onto his usual stool, his slate glowing beside him. He's shaking his head as you enter. Bliss, meanwhile, is floating freely and gesticulating sharply as they explain something important. I don't see why not, Bliss chops at the air. It's not like you have an alternative. We can get the cryo. It'll take time, but we can get it. That was the deal. Seraphin speaks calmly, trying to placate Bliss. Sleeper, Bliss spots you entering, and they turn to Seraphin. Let's see what Sleeper thinks about it. About what? They both fall silent for a moment. Seraphin sighs. The rig's ready, Sleeper. Bliss gestures around the mess. I fixed it. Hell, I've improved it. She's purring, thanks to me. Now, wouldn't you say, having done such an incredible job, I deserve to be paid properly for my work? A calculated look crosses their face. A refit and retune like this would typically cost my clients hundreds of cryo, even if I was feeling charitable. Seraphin sighs loudly. He knows where this is going. See, I could make you pay, and maybe you could even scrape the cryo up, but not without taking a contract and taking the ship off station, leaving me in the lurch. We wouldn't do that, Seraphin starts, but Bliss holds up a hand to shush him. So I have a proposition, one that clears the debt completely. They pause. I will turn around the open sign on this little bay of mine and join up with you. You keep me in work, give me my split, and give me transit to wherever you're headed. I'll even keep this rig of yours working for free. They shrug. What could be better than that? Us paying and being on our way with no hangers on? Seraphin holds his arms and looks at you. Tell him, Sleeper. Actually, we could use their help. Bliss grins at Seraphin. See? Sleeper gets it. You can use my help. I'm an excellent engineer, a tidy shipmate, and half a decent chef. I'm done with Farspindle. I'm done taking not enough jobs for not enough cryo on a station where I know nobody. They pause, satisfied. You're welcome. Seraphim holds up his hands. Look, we appreciate it, but we're on the run, Bliss. Trust me, you're better off here. He gives him a serious look. Even telling you this could put you in danger. Bliss pauses, then they start laughing. On the run? They shake their heads, smiling. You expect me to be scared off by that goofy shit? It's true. Hi, Cram. Happy Friday. Welcome in. Have a good Friday, Bean. Bliss just shrugs. The system's at war. The belt is spiraling into a crisis. Everyone's got something. I know you were at Hexport. Seraphim looks at them, open-mouthed, searching for a retort. What happened there? Who's to say it won't happen here? I'm not sitting around watching this all play out any longer. They take a deep breath. Something has to give. Bliss turns to Seraphim. Look, you've done your due diligence or whatever. You're on the run. I've been warned. I accept the risks, that's it. At the end of the day, your ship's clamped into my bay, so unless you know my encryption protocols, there's not much left to discuss. Seraphim shakes his head, a small smile crossing his face. They've got us there. He looks at you and then at Bliss. Looks like we've gained a crewmate. He unhooks from his stool, but I'm moving to the engine room, and then he drifts off towards the bunks to gather his things. Hi, Will. How you doing? Hi, Entropy. You and Bliss exchange a nervous look. Sleeper. Welcome aboard. Bliss smiles and gives you a half-hearted mock salute. You leave Bliss in the galley and head for the cockpit. The rig's ready to fly again, but the question is, where to take her next? Seraphim mentioned Flotsam, a short Starward journey from here, as a busy station where you might find an artificer to help diagnose your glitches and errors. Sunward, meanwhile, is the Hellion Gate, an abandoned and uninhabited megastructure left over from the Solheim days. Maybe good for salvage, but not an easy place to survive. And beyond that, well, as they say, the belt's wide, and at least now you have a functioning ship. New ship crew. Okay. Well, we need to continue to help. That's crazy. Can you just leave this place? Like, you can just say fuck you to Cadet and peace out? Also, I mean, I have to leave before this happens, right? I don't know that I'm gonna have enough time to help Cadet. Oh shit. You slide the loose panel away from the wall, letting it float there, beside the airbike rack. Behind it, in the dark, you see the blinking lights of the fuse box. This game's a lot more RPG and open world. You can go back and forth a ton, and have to, for a matter of fact. Okay. Because, yeah, if I have to bail from this spindle before my ship timer is up, I can't help both Cadet and Malik. I don't even know if we'll be able to finish this Cadet line in time. I don't know what left there is after this. A noise nearby draws your attention for a moment. The scrape of a sliding door maybe, or just some old systems cycling in the walls. It took long enough to gain access to the Stripline Express bike garage, and longer still to find a safe route to the airbike racks. But you're almost there. You've seen and heard the hired muscles searching and guarding this place, but have been lucky enough not to come face to face with them yet. Hi, Hooch. We are not finishing this game today. What the helly? You turn back to the darkness behind the panel. If what Cadet said's right, the drive's taped to the back of the fuse box in front of you. You reach through and around slowly, carefully, and your hand settles on something cold and metallic in the dark. It's taped firmly to the box. You pull at it, but it doesn't budge. A quiet rattle echoes from the dispatch office next door, and you freeze for a second. Seems Cadet was a little too enthusiastic with the tape. Peel the tape. Please, 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 please. Yes! Oh, and it got rid of my stress. Hell yeah. You close your eyes and feel for the seams of the tape. You peel it back swiftly and quietly, piece by piece, and the drive spins into your hand. Time to move. You slip the drive inside your coat and kick away from the wall, gliding back towards the maintenance corridor you entered from. You listen carefully as you do. You hear nothing but a satisfying silence. The cool darkness of the maintenance corridor is comforting as you tuck yourself inside and start carefully making your way to the back of the strip line. You shift through the maze of passages that brought you here, their dog legs and dead ends now familiar. Eventually, you spot a thin slit of light ahead, marking the loose panel you levered open to gain entrance. You take a deep breath, almost there. As you reach the gap, you freeze. Voices rumble from beyond, and peering through, you see two figures in dark clothes searching the chaotic bay behind the strip line. Your eyes are drawn to the dark, boxy weapon one holds at their side. Shit, you hiss silently to yourself, your eyes searching for a path through. Wait for an opening. Yay! You wait, silent and still, as a figures search. They split and drift across the bay. You take the chance, sliding open the panel and slipping behind the scrap and boxes at the edge of the room. Tucked into the shadows, you make your way to the far side of the bay and the public passage beyond. There's a hiss and the guttural chatter of a pressure valve as an air bike pulls up beside you in the passage. Cadet leans over and grabs the collar of your coat. Hop on. In a moment, you're on the back of the air bike, clutching the strap of Cadet's bag as she guns it down the passage, the air resistance almost ripping you from the thin seat. You lean against her back and let out a sigh, the drive pressing into your ribs beneath your jacket. You did it. Still alive back there? Cadet's voice brings you back from the hypnotic rhythm of the tunnel lights rushing past the air bike. She slows the bike with a rapid series of hisses, and you realize she's brought you back to the passage outside Bliss's Bay. You try to understand the route she took, a long loop through the branching transit tunnels of the station, but give up. You can let go now. She straightens up and you unhook your fingers from her bag strap, separating yourself from her back. You push off the bike gently and float in the passage beside her. You okay? Looks pretty rough back there. She smiles. Appreciate you putting it all on the line for me. Who were those guys? Your guess is as good as mine, she shrugs. Didn't look like anyone nice, though. I wouldn't sweat it. She smiles. Go on, then. Let's see the drive. You fish the drive out of your jacket and hand it over. That's the one. She squints at it. Should have chucked it when I had the chance. You get your first look at it, and there's not much to see. A small lump of solid-state memory with a few markers on the case. You spot a yellow hex among them. Hexport. What now? She winks, slides her bag around her shoulder to the front, and slots the drive neatly into a pocket. I know someone in Scatteryards who can crack anything. She'd be my first port of call to crack this thing open. She stretches her shoulders, and I should make myself scarce from the spindle anyway, before those dickheads catch up with me. Come with us. Appreciate the offer, but I think it's best if we go our separate ways for now. 2 targets are harder to track than 1. She cycles the pressure valve on the bike impatiently. Cadet leans away from her bike, squinting out of the viewing window at your ship behind. That yours? She doesn't wait for an answer. If I'm not mistaken, that old thing's gonna struggle to reach the scouter yards unless you've added a Hasnav suite. Hasnav? Yeah, belt between here and scouter yards is drowning in debris, worse than Hexport. You'll need hazard navigation to make the crossing safely. Lodic Syndicate created the tech to help their tankers cross the belt. Common knowledge. Cadet nods at your ship. Maybe, if you head up to Wellspring, you can barter or steal a suite, she adds casually. Here. Cadet unties a bag lashed to her bike frame and holds it out to you. Not enough here for a refit, but maybe you'll find some use for him. You take the bag and something clinks inside it as you do. You open to see a couple of engine components. Was gonna use them to boost her. She taps the frame of the air bike, but you deserve them. She meets your eye, then looks away. Not like I'll be doing any runs for a while anyway. Thanks. Are you hooch? Hell yeah. Are you starting it like for the first time ever? I left off. I still need to watch seasons 5 and 6, but at this point I almost feel like I just need to start over. It's nothing. Like I said, you deserve them. She flexes her fingers on the bike's handles, eager to be away. Yeah, that's just a you problem, Core. You were reading what you wanted to read. You know nothing about it. It's so good. Well, I loved seasons 1 through 3 were chef's kiss phenomenal. Season 4 was a bit of a slog for me, and then that's when I decided I was gonna take a break and then go back for 5 and 6, and then I just never went back. Hi Splits, welcome in. Cadet's airbike stutters and purrs, trembling in the air like an arrow ready to be loosed. See you around, she winks and guns the throttle, zipping off down the passage with a pulse of air that ripples through your clothes. You stare after her as she goes, the bag of components still hanging from your hand. You realize as you look down the passage that you never asked how Cadet plans to get to the scatter yards. That question, like a score of others, will have to wait until you run into her next. Although you have a feeling she'll find a way to slip away before you can ask them next time too. You head back towards your ship to stow the components, idly wondering if you could justify buying an air bike to Seraphim as you do so. New drive, minor drive complete, and an upgrade point. Hell yeah. An arbitrary gold star? Hell yeah, I love gold stars. Thanks. All right, let's see. Cadet has a drive from Hexport. Okay, so this is to go meet her there. I do want to do this. Where's my drive for helping Malik? That's not on here. Oh, it's a contract. Does that not count as a drive, I guess? So that's the ice-rich asteroid. Okay. I don't think we're gonna do this contract yet. I ain't ready. Getting racked. Sheesh! 11 cryo. Traveling to a contract counts like leaving the station altogether, decreasing the timer. It doesn't decrease the timer. Like, time keeps going. Let's do these here. Nice. All right. How do we... you change places and the red timer at your ship will decrease, but that's just how it is. Huh? You're saying that now instead of having 4 filled bars, if I go do a contract, I'll come back and it'll only be 3 filled bars? Because that's not how it worked on Hexport. It kept filling. That's how I got fucked. It will be 1 or none? That's... Hexport was special. That's not really explained anywhere. How is anyone supposed to make that connection? Because that contract on Hexport and my overall timer, I went and did that contract and then I came back and my timer was almost completely filled. Hexport's demise has put a barrier between Darkside and the far spindle. Lane can't follow, so for now you are safe. Cycle clock. Like, there's nothing in here indicating the timer goes down if you accept contracts. In fact, I would still argue otherwise because it says cycle clock. So in 2 cycles, this thing's gonna be filled. Like, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the timer go down? Because, like, cycles are gonna go by when we do a contract. So, I don't understand why a timer would go down for doing a contract. We might be a bit early on then, but the travel will come important. You're 0-2, Edge. You're cursing it. All right, how do we... So how do I get to... The only thing I click on the map is the contracts. How do we actually go to Flotsam? I can't... Oh, wait. Belt? Ah! This is cool. Dark side. Sprawling urban station. Okay, so you still need to make sure you have fuel when you go to these places. I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna need supplies because we're just going to a new place. I hope. All right, we're in Flotsam. It's hard to tell where Flotsam ends and the ships parked at its many docking bridges begin. As Seraphim docks with the station, you realize that the rig now looks like just another piece of accumulated technology. One more bit of driftwood added to the raft. I love this place, Seraphim smiles as he shuts down the engines. You never know what you'll find. You've been here before. He's probably gonna be like, yeah, we've been here before. Oh, okay. Yeah, back when I first came to the belt, the crew I signed on with used to run salvage jobs out of here. Fun place to spend your wages. You see Bliss eyeing the station with what looks like both horror and fascination. You see the seals? They point out some twisted assemblage of ship parts. Total cowboy welds. They could pop any moment. Seraphim waves away their concerns. Oh, that's just the outer layer. I heard there's 6 or 7 in all, so if one fails, it's no problem. He stretches and turns to you. You've got to taste some of the stuff they grow in old Takahi. He kisses his fingers. That's the good shit. Oh, great, Bliss sighs. So many layers of redundancy and fallbacks that you have no hope of isolating a leak and fixing it. They wrap on the wall of the rig. Sounds like a ship I know. Defend the rig. Seraphim joins in, the two of you shoulder to shoulder. She got you out here, didn't she? He shrugs at Bliss, no sense of gratitude. I was joking. Bliss looks a little hurt and drifts out of the cockpit, shaking their head. You go follow, but Seraphim puts a hand on your shoulder. Sleeper, he looks suddenly serious. Remember what I said about getting checked out? There are artificers all over this place. It'll take a bit of searching, but we need to know what's going on with you. He meets your eye. That's why we're here. Good, Seraphim nods. Let me know what they say. I'm gonna go see if any of my old haunts are still open. He drifts out of the cockpit with a mock salute. Catch you later. You're left alone in the cockpit with a view of Flotsam's chaotic structure. You look over the multicolored plating. It does, you admit, have a certain charm. All right. Damn, the timer still exists here too. I was hoping that it would go away when we went to a new location, so I don't know what's gonna happen because we got one cycle left. Hi, Saturn. I hate my brain. You said dark side, and now make a ma'am out of you stuck in my head. Huh? Explore Flotsam. Analyze structure. Learning the chaotic structures of Flotsam from corridor to ship and back again takes time. Dude, I don't know what to do about this timer. I'm gonna die all over again. I thought going to a new location would like reset it or something. Especially since like, how is he still following? We're not even there anymore. That's Monka. All right, Flotsam is made from maybe hundreds of ships gathered and modified over time. A good engineer might be able to identify them. Hi, Martin, how's it going? I'm doing good. How are you? Happy Friday. All right, we got 2 there. Neutral or positive, neutral or positive. Nice. Neutral or positive, neutral or positive. Okay. I don't think so. Wait, I don't think so. What? We might be a bit early on for my general advice on travel, but we shall see you soon no matter what. Huh? Just melting here. It's too hot where I am. Not used to this heat here. Where? I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want, but where are you? Because it is hot as fuck here. But that's pretty normal for this time of year. Is that another contracts? Okay. Well, I don't really want to spend these one die here. Scotland / UK. Oh, I heard that UK is like brutal right now. Melting here as well. And you guys don't have like central air conditioning either, right? Which would be fucking awful. I really don't want to spend this here, but I don't know what else to do. It doesn't tell me what the negative outcome is gonna be. Energy, maybe? You were just outside in full sweatpants and a hoodie? Why? It's so hot out. Okay, so minus energy. Nice. I want to apologize ahead of time for your Discord. Oh god. Oh my god! What were y'all yapping about? It doesn't say this warm for a long time. Hopefully it passes soon, Martin. You and Stanley and Bia? 95. Sleepy. 95. You joined one group DM and you got 95 DMs. I know, I sent you that event link. I sent you the tweet for that event link, you dork. Are you guys gonna play? Oh, Christ almighty, dude. Hi, Gunsman! How's it going? I'm doing good. You're literally playing it tomorrow? Oh my god, just for Espa? Alright. Alright. I'm over here just posting Minthara Magic the Gathering cards in Discord. Dude, I want one so bad. I had AP look them up the other day for me. I want the Minthara card. That's my... girl, do you see me downloading Fortnite for the XG emote? I don't fucking think so. I don't fucking think so. All right, well, we're gonna have to end cycle and see what happens next. No cap, I probably still wouldn't. I have zero, and I mean zero interest in Fortnite. None. Zip. Nada. I don't even think Jurin could sell me on Fortnite. I'm gonna be very real with you. I'm gonna be very, very honest here. Something flickers in the back of your mind. You stop. You have to stop to blink it away. It's a tightness behind your left eye, an aching point that refuses to move. And then the voice begins, hissing through the background noise of the rigged systems, a new whine amongst the chorus of the life support and ventilation. Even the lobby music is their song. That's pretty cool. That is dope. Hopefully you can get whatever skins and stuff they release. I cannot believe you guys are gonna play PUBG tomorrow though. What the hell? Oh, it just shot up to 96. Apollo! Thank Thank you for the 4 years.
4 years, time flies.
Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well today. Thanks for sticking around for so long. She's in her PUBG era, all right? Her PUBG era. Sleeper, the hiss brings Lane's sharp features to mind. I suppose you thought you had slipped my net. Hexport jumps into your mind, an image of the station emanating in white light, though you were not conscious to witness it. You're distant, his voice hisses into white noise, but you're not free of me yet. I'm coming, Sleeper, the hiss drops, and I will retake control of what's mine. The closer I come to you, the more you will feel it. Lane moves your finger to tap your forehead, in here. Until you cannot resist, a bright smile, pale eyes, a growing hiss that hurts. Then the hiss is gone, the rig suddenly quiet, the stinging tightness diffusing behind your eyes, but the fear remains. Sleeper, you good? Seraphin's there, floating by your berth. You were talking. Lane's coming. Seraphin looks alarmed. You feel him, right? He looks away. We can use that. Stay ahead of him. He squeezes your shoulder. We can do this. We're fast and smart. We keep moving. We don't stay anywhere for long. And we find a way, he frowns, somehow. You nod. You don't know how Lane's able to reach into your mind like this, how he's able to speak into you, but you want so desperately for it to stop. You must find out what he's done to you before it's too late. You must stay ahead of Lane at all costs. Okay, so we didn't die. Lane's hunting you once again. His progress will be tracked by the hunt clock. If this is filled, he will catch up with you. It will increase once every cycle you spend in a hub. However, each time you travel, the hunt will reduce by 3. If you keep moving, you can stay one step ahead of Lane. Bro, this is gonna be crazy. Okay, so here's the actual tutorial. Edge was jumping the gun. All right. Wow, I rolled really shit rolls this time too. Sick. Hi, Sauce. How's it going? I've spent most of it by the lake. Hell yeah, Apollo. I have my first bathing suit in the mail on the way to me that I've owned in like 10 years. So I might go do some pool chilling sometime soon. I haven't been to a pool in so long. Yeah. Tater's got me a really cute little bikini off throat. I'm excited. I just want to keep you safe. I appreciate it. Okay, so now we can't stay in one place for too long. This is stressful. I miss pools. I've never really been much of like a pool girly, but lately, I don't know. I feel like just taking like one of my days off and just chilling for a couple hours by the pool could be kind of nice, actually. Getting ready for gym before a slam-packed weekend. Oh, by that emote, I'm guessing not a fun slam-packed weekend. Sun, a pool, and some watermelon. Make that strawberries, and we got a deal. The weightlessness, yeah, it's just more of dealing with other people, unfortunately. Hi, Orgomon. I went swimming today. I started raining midway through and had to get my phone out there. Dude, yeah, I don't even know what our pool looks like here. I've not been to this apartment complex pool one time. I haven't even gone to look at it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't even know how to get into it. We have a private dock, so it's very nice and chill. That sounds really nice, Apollo. They can't have pools in Arizona anymore. The water just evaporates. I used to have my own pool, so I didn't have to worry about none of that. Lucky, dude. That sounds so nice. It's good, but being busy, meh. Yeah, I don't like when I'm like super busy. You just feel like you don't have any moment to just like relax and chill. We can have pools here. The chaos of Flotsam intrigues you. Passage to passage, it's the most incoherent place you've ever visited. Plating, cladding, and cushioning of all kinds of conditions hides a forest of wires and ducts, interfacing in ways their manufacturers would never dream possible. How were games, Sleepy? Did you guys ever... I was lurking. I usually have you up like while I do my makeup and stuff, so I was lurking. Did you guys ever hop into ranked? Rims are crushed cargo bays, flipped bridges, and eviscerated engine rooms. You did? Hell yeah, I hope games went good. Patchwork corridors are lumping with messy welds, bending worryingly along their length. It is, to put it nicely, a total mess. It's not that you don't like it, but fighting an artificer among this chaos has been more than a little challenging. The cycle, searching these winding passages once more, seeing only scrap merchants and junk shops, you begun to wonder if Seraphin had any idea what he was talking about when he advised you to come here. A sleeper? The voice cuts through the pungent air. Well, I never. We won some, lost some, the usual, but honestly, it was a lot of fun. Cool. Yeah, we were talking about rivals at the start of stream. I want my Luna swimsuit outfit. Strange artificer. You glance in the voice's direction and find yourself looking at a small booth piled with tech. Behind a fogged and scratched plastic screen is a meticulously arranged counter, the only clear spot in sight. At it, an older man with wet, wandering eyes sits neatly. Approach the booth. Yes, Seepers. What happens? Jean-Mi tilts his head. I didn't mean to be rude, please. And he bows a little. That's okay. He smiles warmly, almost bowing again, his hunched shoulders accentuating the movement. How he pauses, taking care with his speech now. How are you feeling, sleeper? He beckons you a little closer. I'm Jean-Michel, though please, to you, Jean-Mi. I work with machines. He sweeps a hand above his counter where you see configurations of tiny parts, mostly small ones. He smiles. Oh, that could be cool, Skeepers. We could get some food or something. I'm not great. Of course. He chops with his hand to indicate a stool with a leg bar meant for perching beside his counter, and such is the clarity and persuasiveness of his movement that you obligingly sit. Your presence is a rare honor here. He smiles and looks down into his lap. I'm sorry if I make you uncomfortable. I'm just very pleased to see you. That's okay. Oh, yeah, Korean would be really, really, really good. And we got a lot of Korean places here, man. He looks up. Very kind of you to say. I can see your journey to me has not been easy, he says with genuine concern. You track his eyes across your body, noticing the scuff marks on your thick, vinyl-like skin. The replaced and broken parts of your body, the marks of violence. You pull your jacket a little tighter. Nard! My dad decided to stop us in Georgia to give me more incentive to go on this trip. Oh, that's so funny. Are you guys just doing like a family, like beach trip? Jean-Mi folds his hands one over the other and places them on the counter. I do not know what your experiences have been, but I want to assure you that I see you as a person, a being, a soul, shall we say, as valid as any other. Hi, Josh. Welcome in. Hi, Mathulu. Happy Friday. Yeah, I think a lot of people are new fans of K-pop after last stream. My grandparents live in Florida and they're going on a cruise and needed someone to watch their pupper. Gotcha. Okay, so you could go to the beach. You look at Jean-Mi, his own age and wear also... Wait. You look at Jean-Mi, his own age and wear also evident. A life of precise and careful work shaping his body into reflection of his process. You know his unconfident way of speaking, which betrays a certain loneliness, a lack of practice. It's his turn to feel observed. I understand. You're kind. The frankness of the remark takes you by surprise. He looks down at his counter and begins to take apart a tiny piece of machinery that sits there. Many years ago, when I began my apprenticeship, I would find that whenever I saw something that, how to say, was not working well, I was fixated on it and its repair. He tinkers with the parts, twisting them precisely. Of course, the belt is filled with this kind of dysfunctional detail. And so I was busy for many years with these small fixings. He smiles in reminiscence. I know, I'm sorry, Tyke. You're making it a vacation? Hell yeah. Does it count as a fan if I just watch the videos on mute? Only if you know the names of the people you're watching? Yeah, exactly. Core. I don't even think you're joking either. Hi, Job. How's it going? You guys are terrible. Terrible. Bro, this group chat up to 101, Sleepy. 101. No, he doesn't. And then he wonders why his fucking Firefox crashes just from looking at it. But now, I find that when I'm interested in a thing that is not working as it should, he sharply twists one of the parts between his fingers. It's because it might have some quality not yet foreseen or discovered. He releases the altered object into the air, where it balletically twists in a hypnotic display, like a spinning top whose movements are totally unpredictable. Jean-Mi smiles at you, watching his hypnotic toy. I can see that you're in a process of becoming, Sleeper. He catches the spinning toy between a finger and thumb. Let me aid you in this. What do you mean? Making steady progress in Final Fantasy 15? Hell yeah. Jean-Mi's precise hands drop to a device around his neck. He deftly pulls a pair of goggles up to his face, masking his wet eyes. Hold still, Sleeper. Something flickers inside the goggles, their face blank. Jean-Mi's hands play across buttons and switches on the exterior, tuning, focusing. What are you doing? Jean-Mi holds up a single stubby finger and continues to work. When the goggles are finally lowered, they reveal a look of concern on Jean-Mi's face. I think you better come inside. He kicks off from his desk and disappears. A moment later, you hear a rattle and a small bulkhead door beside the booth that you had assumed was rusted shut creaks open. Jean-Mi beckons you inside. Jean-Mi's workshop's even more cramped than you expected. As you enter, you're surrounded on all sides with netting holding bundles and bundles of terminals, servers, drives, and cables. At its center, a padded seat and a set of articulated arms mounted with sensors and tools to fill the space. I know, sorry, Sleepy. The seat, please. Jean-Mi gestures at it with a polite smile. What are you gonna do? Not to worry, I only wish to examine you. It's non-intrusive. You tentatively settle on the seat, slipping your arms and feet into the straps, meant to keep you from floating out of it in 0G. Jean-Mi floats beside you. He looks across your body. There's damage here, I see that. We'll get to that. But I see something else here as well. This is why you came. He looks at you solemnly. Yes. Though I've never met a sleeper, I've studied them. I was lucky to acquire some materials from S&ARP some time ago. In the interest of my own endeavors, he begins arranging a series of sensors around you on articulated arms. You are pleasingly distinct from those materials. His eyes flash with excitement. Am I right in thinking you've been modified? I rebooted myself. Yes, I see that your dependency on stabilizer, on the immune recoding portion of its makeup at least, has been broken. He gives you a precise look, but that's not all. You're physically modified, not externally, but internally. He carefully positions the final sensor. Your tracker's disabled, which makes it impossible for S&ARP to find you. Congratulations. He smiles broadly. But that's not all. You've been modified, yes, but you are also being modified as we speak. You feel a strange claustrophobia as Jean-Mi's statement. Modified? Seraphine rebooted your system, ran the recoding protocol, but that shouldn't have physically changed you. It only removed your planned obsolescence. How? Jean-Mi goes to a terminal and flicks a switch. Through the back of the translucent screen, you see a nodal web in the vague shape of a sitting body. Your body. These changes appear to be complex, subtle, but consistent. Jean-Mi goes silent as he taps the terminal. The representation of your body rotating and unfolding in unsettling motions. Saturn! Thank you so much for the 8-month resub, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your emotes. What changes? See here? He points at a flickering representation of your spine, tracing a line towards your head. Your nervous system is growing additional nodal points here and here. Meanwhile, your emulation interface is growing an umbilical access port towards what end, I am unsure. You instinctively reach back and touch the base of your head. As you do, the scan flickers and screeches with noise. You feel for something there, growing under your thick vinyl skin. Can you feel a lump, or is that just your imagination? You pick at it. Sounds good, Michael. Have a good Friday. You missed your B-motes? Hell yeah. B-motes are great emotes. Thank you again for the resub, dude. Jean-Mi sighs and shuts off the terminal. The changes are partial and, in all honesty, he gestures sharply at the sensors. The resolution is too poor. Hi, David. How you doing? Happy Friday. Duh. I need to run a full diagnostic, but for that I would need... He drifts over to another terminal and brings up screens and screens of text and diagrams. Yes, some kind of medium to hold your suspended emulation. The access jack I can build myself, but we'll need to bridge your emulation. Jean-Mi speaks quietly, almost to himself. A ship mind would be ideal for this. Would have to be high capacity, a prime ship mind, Solheim in origin. Perhaps Helion Gate might hold records of any that were in the system. He taps at the terminal. Jean-Mi turns back to you. Yes, the prime ship mind is essential if you wish further investigations to be done. I'll need this above all. He thumbs the terminal off. I'm sorry to say, Sleeper. Can you tell me more? Accurately? No. He meshes his fingers in front of his chest. It's clear that a process has begun, but has yet to complete. B-motes are the best. I'm glad you guys like them. I'm doing good. Not too shabby. We're chilling. Jean-Mi busies himself with taking down the sensors and folding away the articulated arms. As he does, you try to calm yourself. You feel as if you have worms under your skin, and it takes all your focus not to pick at its seams. Jean-Mi suddenly gently places a hand on yours. Please, remain calm. He puts a carefully restored rare component in your hand. This can help you. Jean-Mi waits for you to fall still. Then he leans back a little, relieving some of the strange intimacy of the moment. For now, our work is concluded. He meshes his fingers again and bows with a small head bob. But you're welcome, anytime. Thank you. Of course. His manner seems to have returned to something more businesslike, a humble man who knows his customers' needs. You get up from the seat, a little dazed, and push away into the passage. Safe travels, Sleeper, Jean-Mi says quietly, placing the promised list in your hand as he lets you back into the station. You leave dazed, unsure of how you feel about the insistence of this man's particular kindness. But most of all haunted by the idea of the unseen processes that are running within you. Part of you does not wish to know anything further, to leave this place and never look back, and another is desperate to immediately retrieve every object on this list so that you may know what strangeness is happening within you. For now, you must steady yourself and find a way to continue. Dude, that's crazy. Seraphine comes to find you in your bunk. After Jean-Mi's assessment, you find yourself drifting back to the rig, in need of the familiarity and comfort of your own ship. Oh, I'm sorry, Saturn. I know, it's a very audiobook kind of stream. Sleeper, he drifts in. You found an artificer. He hovers by the door looking concerned. Explain. You tell him about Jean-Mi, how he offered you repairs and ran an assessment of your frame. You describe the cramped booth, the articulated arms, the strangeness of seeing your own body anatomized upon the terminal screen. Anatomized. Then you tell him that your body's changing, growing in ways Jean-Mi cannot identify, that some process has been started and you do not know where it will end. You mention umbilical ports and nodal points, trying your best to remember the details of the things Jean-Mi asked you to retrieve. Seraphine grows pale and silent. He shakes his head when you stop talking. Lane, he frowns. That piece of shit has to be behind this. Perhaps. For sure, Seraphine looks stubbornly at the floor. We'll get what you need. We'll find that ship mind, he nods. A bit of work here and there and we can make it to Helion Gate and wherever else. What about your stuff? We'll do that too, he thumps the wall. We're free, Sleeper. No one can stop us. Just say the word, okay? He goes quiet. Don't give up on yourself just yet, he smiles. Get up and get back to it. And with that, he turns and kicks off down the corridor, disappearing from sight. You wait a little while, staring at the stained ceiling of the bunks, letting the thoughts settle in your mind. And then, when you're ready, you get up and leave, dazed but with a stony determination growing in your chest. Don't give up on yourself, chat. At least there's VODs. There are VODs, yeah. Hi, Emlad. Happy Friday. How's it going, dude? Why read when B? I just love these games. They're a lot, though. There's so much to read out loud, but such good story. Okay, so we're definitely not gonna have to go to Hellion's Gate to get a ship mined at some point. I don't really know what to do next at the moment. Okay, I'm actually gonna take a quick break. I'm doing good. It's been a pretty good Friday so far. I'm gonna take a quick break, go use the restroom and grab a Red Bull. So give me just a couple minutes, chat. Go grab a snack for audiobook time. But yeah, I'll be RB. Be good. my back. Get plinked plonkers. What the hell? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I got a chunky Red Bull. Thank you. Okay. Cheers, mates. Cheers. All right. Yeah, the chug emote. All right, so what do we want to do first? I almost want to just immediately leave this place and go look for the ship mind. Or maybe we go back to the other place to do the contract for that guy so that he ends up being an ally. So this is another contract. Oh, I do need to buy... I need to eat. I'm getting kind of low on energy. But we need cryo. Okay. I'm gonna buy supplies. Oh, no, wait. I'm gonna fill supplies. Where can I buy fuel? Here we go. Buy fuel, fill fuel. Serves as a huge hydroponic farm, keeping the station alive. Ships are always available. Tropical one? Hell yeah. I've really shit dice. The issue is I'm gonna need more fuel to go on the contract. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go back to Far Spindle. I don't know if this is efficient, but... I'm a little overwhelmed. Fuck! I got glitch dice. Alright, we're gonna play this here. Because worst case scenario, we get energy. I think that's what you wanted to hear. Sure. Hee hee. Okay, so we need to fill up our... Actually... We have enough fuel. So I don't need to buy more. I'm scared. The contracts are hard. I'm scared, man. I wish there was quick saves in this so badly. So this is all stuff to just give me cryo, I think. Okay. do this too. All right. Let's go do a contract, I guess. I'm scared. Malik and the Springtide are being held on the far spindle until he can fulfill the water order. This asteroid might be the key to calming the administrators. Wait. Does Seraphim not come with me? Why does Seraphim not come? Did I do something wrong? He's like not even available to like click. Oh, is he? So should I wait and do this later, or will me and Bliss be okay? Is this Dirge? I just don't know if I should wait until, like, I don't know if I'm doing this hard mode by only having like one crew and I can have like more like if I wait later, or do I just send it? We've only ever done contracts with 2 other crew members. I've never done one with just one other person. I don't know if this is a mistake. I think both of us are more like techie too, aren't we? Do we do it? Do we send it? We do it. All right. Hi, Dat Boy. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Fuck, that was a good one, and I talked through it. Hi, Scruffy. Welcome in. The asteroid looms large in the cockpit's glass. Light glints off the sheets of surface ice. The same glint that must have caught Malik's attention when he was fleeing the Conway countermeasures that damaged the Springtide. There's been no sign of Conway drones or mines, but that hasn't stopped Seraphim being cautious in his approach. You have to admit you found yourself searching the black void of space for a telltale blinking red beacon too. It really depends on the skill checks and dice results. Great. They're never in my favor. We're close enough to jump down to the surface. Seraphim locks down the engines. I don't see anything on the scope, but I'll keep her warm just in case. He nods without looking up from the controls. Good luck at work, Dat Boy. You unclip from your seat and kick off towards the airlock. The scale of the asteroid is troubling, but Seraphim assured you on the journey here that surveying it would be easy enough. Just take a sample from the deep ice for testing. The problem, he said, is getting down that deep. You'll have to cut away.
Got your back, Commander.
Oh my god.
A sacrifice to find peace with the Gamba god sails bless.
That scared the shit out of me. Edge, thank you for the biddies. Open my door a bit more. It's so hot in here already. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's okay. I just wasn't expecting it, and I'm so like locked into the story. Thank you for the biddies. The problem, he said, is getting down that deep. You'll have to cut away at the ice, dig yourself a hole. In doing so will create fractures in the shelf. The asteroid may be big, but it's held together with only a weak gravitational force. The more the ice is cracked away, the less there is for the far spindle to harvest, something you doubt Malik will be happy about. Hi, Daz! How's it going? Hell yeah, Scruffy! Happy Friday, Daz. You push the worry to the back of your mind and get suited up. Something on your mind? Bliss drifts up beside you and pulls a suit from the rack. Just hope we don't mess up. Fuck.
No one expects the Kiryu-chan.
Narn! Thank you for the 300. Thank you for the Kiryu-chan. Jesus Christ. Thank you, thank you. I'm doing good, Des. How are you doing today? Yeah, that one got me. Jesus Christ. Narn, thank you. Just hope we don't mess up. Me too, they shrug. I don't want to jinx it, but it seems simple enough. Can't say rock, or in this case, ice cutting is my usual strength, but it's gotta be simpler than slicing a hole without touching any of the internals. Bliss zips up their suit. We'll be fine. Bliss's reassurance that they don't have any experience with the job you're about to do doesn't exactly calm your worries, but their nonchalant attitude helps, especially when you consider the volume of ice you're about to start cutting into. Cheer up, Bliss punches you on the arm as you get into the airlock. Might never happen. Lots of messages, or lots of meetings, but now I'm here for my B audiobook. Hell yeah, you can lurk the B audiobook while you respond to your emails and sit in your meetings. Hi Harry, welcome in. The lock cycles and you find yourself staring out at the glinting surface of the asteroid. Gotta fix my chair. 1 second, sleeper. Seraphine's voice comes over the comms. I'm seeing something here. Some kind of man-made shaft on the far side of the asteroid. I'm on the stream now. Yeah, exactly. Might be worth a look, but remember, the survey is our priority. It comes first. You can almost hear his eyes roll through the comms link. Don't get distracted. You squint at the rock and spot a dark recess just over the curve of the asteroid. That'll be the distraction then. You refocus on the ice sheet. Time to get started. All right. Hi, Zilly. Welcome in. Okay, slice away ice. Explore the cracks. The shaft may be clogged with ice, but dark cracks suggest a more subtle way through, even if it will be slow going. I have a better outcome here. I have engineer stats here, so I think I'm gonna start here. And we're gonna start with this shitty ass glitch dice, I guess. Yes! Oh my god. Okay. Sheesh. Oh, I got a stress. Okay. I forgot that Bliss has dice as well. Nice. It is, yeah, it does. We've actually made some progress today. All right. New location discovered. Extract core sample. Time to drill down into the deep ice and extract a core of the asteroid's ice for testing and evaluation. Careful now. All right, well, time to end this cycle. Blessed be the dice who rolleth in our favor. Me, when something goes 1% wrong, I gotta stress. Yeah, exactly. I'm doing good, Zilly. How are you doing? Thank God. Dude. Thank God I added those skill points into Endure. Oh, you can't see. It's behind my camera. This takes Endure, and Bliss doesn't have any. So we both would have been fucked here had I not invested those skill points at the start of stream. Uh-oh. Yikes. The sample core, a long and weighty cylinder of cloudy ice, comes up out of the borehole cleanly. It glows in the sunlight, catching the rays in its frosted interior. Nicely done, Sleeper, Bliss chirps through the comms. I've never cored an asteroid before, but the result's pretty. Let's just hope it's drinkable. Let's not melt it down for liquid refreshment just yet, Seraphim chimes in. It's likely packed with unpleasant impurities. The question is, are they the kind of impurities the far spindle can filter out? Let's get it up to the ship and we can run the analysis on the trip back. Seraphim pauses. And before you get any ideas about digging around on that asteroid some more, remember that if we break away any of the ice, Malik will likely dock our pay. You start the journey back up to the ship, dragging the sample core with you. As you do, you look back down at the asteroid, wondering if it might be the bargaining chip Malik has been looking for. You'll know soon enough. We did it! And I got a Chivo. -5 stress during travel. Travel back to the hub. Cool. On the journey back from the asteroid, you pored over the tests Malik had given you to run, improvising the necessary equipment from your mess. Each one produced spools of data, much of which you couldn't parse. Arriving into the vicinity of the far spindle, you broadcast these strings of data to Malik's personal terminal on the Springtide as instructed. Despite all this preparation, you're still surprised when you find Malik standing at the far side of the docking tunnel as you leave the rig. Sleeper, he nods neatly at you. I thought it was better I come down here, away from my crew, to discuss your findings. Trust issues? I trust my crew implicitly, he clasps his hands, but they, like me, are members of the Lodic Syndicate, and so they answer to an authority higher than mine. One that rewards loyalty and obedience, he smiles. I'm simply guarding my position as captain, as any of them would. No, different hub, Des. As I suspected, the asteroid was indeed rich with water ice. Thankfully, the contaminants can be dealt with, he speaks matter-of-factly, betraying little emotion. With the data you provided, I should be able to convince the Far Spindle administration of its worth. Then we're good? Malik smiles. That remains to be seen. Before I make payment, I'd like to ask, in person, if you saw anything else of consequence. Anything to share with me that might affect my dealings with the Far Spindle. He folds his arms across his chest. I would prefer not to have any surprises when they go to retrieve the water. There was a shaft. Interesting, Malik smiles. It's likely of no consequence, but there's something of value there. Could play to my benefit. I'll mention the potential of additional salvage to the Far Spindle administration. Given the data, it doesn't seem to have impacted the ice. Malik reaches into his pocket and produces a stack of cryo chits bound carefully with a strip of paper. 250 cryo, as agreed. You take the chits and quickly tuck them away. With that, our business is concluded, Sleeper. Malik nods lightly. I must speak with the administration and negotiate the release of my ship and then prepare for immediate departure. The Syndicate will be eager for my successful return. Thank you. Malik bows and turns. Should our paths cross again, I will see that it will be to your benefit. We're rich. All right. That's pretty cool. Okay. So we have two major things I want to do. I want to go do this cadet drive, but I also want to I want to go see how much a ship mind costs. I worry that it's gonna be, I'm pretty sure they were like pretty sure it was like 400 cryo in the first game. which I'm not gonna have right now. I mean, I literally have it, but I'm about to have to buy fuel. Where do I buy fuel? Big chunky bucks. So, where do I want to go? -8 fuel, irradiated zone, impassable hazard. Oh, I can't even get here yet, actually. I need that nav tech that Bliss was talking about. Okay, so I can't... Oh, wait. This one actually says has nav required. Whereas this one doesn't, but it just says impassable hazard. So... I really can't do any of these, so I guess we'll just go to Hellion Gate. Hellion Gate hangs over the rig. Its corroded arches resemble the dislocated vertebrae of some vast, long-dead serpent. That's one big, ugly scrap pile. Seraphim whistles from the pilot seat. Solheim didn't like to build them small. It's kind of beautiful. Sure. Seraphim waves a hand at the gate, in that morbid kind of way that dead things are. Gotta be big if you want to fit every ship that visits the system through it. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Impressive, really, building something so massive out here. Solheim like to impress visitors, sure. Seraphim leads forward, looking for the best place to enter the structure, but they also like to scan entire ships and impound those that didn't enter through the gate. Seraphim catches your eye, looking for some agreement. Not the most admirable qualities. Solheim was a curse on this system. Seraphim nods. Better off without him, that's for sure. I agree, but without them, the system would just be two gas giants and a load of rocks. No harm in recognizing it. You look out the cockpit towards the gate. Its layers of systems and rooms slowly opening to the void, peeling away cycle after cycle to reveal the bones beneath. This is where Jean-Mi mentioned you might be able to find the location of a ship with a prime ship mind. Among the old shipping manifests in Solheim records, you look over the towering structure of the gate. This is going to take some work. Which direction is sunward? Just look around till it hurts to look. Suddenly, a flash high up on the gate catches your eye. A light turning on and off again for a moment, you lose track of it. Is this place inhabited? Seraphim raises an eyebrow. I doubt it. He winks and smiles. You hoping for a station-side bar? I have a feeling you'll be disappointed, unless we find an executive's old liquor cabinet. Bliss pats you on the shoulder and drifts out of the cockpit. Time to see what secrets the gate has left. This is kind of cool. I don't really remember who Solheim is in like the grand scheme of the lore. SNARP is the company that makes us sleepers. But I don't really remember like who Solheim was. One way to get the data you need from the archive is to power up the whole machinery of it. Daunting engineering task. Explore the corridors. Dark corridors lead off into the abandoned facility with no map and no one to guide you. Picking a direction and following it is only option. Solheim was like a super company that was essential in exploration of space, and they regulated just about everything until they completely collapsed and everything sort of turned into chaos. Okay. Thanks, Edge. Hi, Biotic. Welcome in. Damn. In the dark and airless void of the archives, something flickers. You've been working in the dark, picking through the guts of corroded machines, skimming the data in their corrupt memories, digging through a graveyard in search of ghosts. But now, with another flicker, the place begins to come back to life. All along the rows of benches, some of them crushed by fallen ceiling panels, terminals begin to flicker into uneasy life. A cacophony of distorted sounds accompany the machines, as some of them immediately glitch and spark. Did you do this? You stand frozen as the archive glitters around you with a million shipping entries. The stream of information is overwhelming. Node graphs drawing out routes and inventories, tracing a web around you in pale cyan. Nice, Oldered! Hell yeah! Back to Death Stranding. Suddenly, they all shut off, the terminals blinking out together, leaving a single translucent screen glowing softly in the dim room. And in that dim room, drifting towards you out of the dark, you see a figure. Is this what you're looking for? The voice crackles aggressively through your suit's local comms. Who are you? It's Junie! Sleeper? Is that you? You hear Junie's voice now, tense and unsure. She stops beside the single online terminal, her suited form lit in pale light. Junie. You hear the smile in her voice. Good to see you again. She pauses and glances around, though the venue's a little unexpected. What are you doing here? I'm searching these archives too, although slightly less forcefully than you. I did have this whole speech prepared for whatever salvager was ripping through these archives so messily, not to mention aggressively, but now that I know it's you, well, I'm just glad to see you. Yeah, Junie's back. Gonna go restock Red Bull and food, then Death Stranding till the sun comes out. Still haven't done that. Hell yeah, Oldered. I just cracked my Red Bull for the day. Cheese, mate. Although you really need to be more careful, you could have taken the entire archive down the way you were working with it. These machines are decades old. You can't just rifle through them like they were a scrap pile. I saw the pattern of your queries. A prime ship mine equipped ship, still operational at the collapse, last located in the region around Hellion Gate. You can feel how pleased she is with herself from here. That about right? Nicely done. She nods. Would you expect anything else? That's why I did the hard work for you. Junie beckons you over to the lone lit up terminal. You drift over and see a single point, a faded transit trail beside it, sunward from the Hellion Gate. Something like this, maybe? She smiles and steps aside so you can see the screen. You check the info pane beside the map. Ship mined in use, abandoned by all hands after the collapse. Tantalizingly in reach. Something like that. What the Helly Gate? She shrugs. Well then, it's yours. But, Junie turns and the glow of the terminal meets your eye with complete seriousness. The question is, what do you want it for? Explain about your body. You tell her what Jean-Mi told you, about your shifting body transformed by some unknown influence, about the need for a prime ship mine to house your emulated mind while he runs a diagnostic process. She's silent for a moment, unsure how to respond. I'm sorry, Sleeper, but I think I can help you. I want to come with you. Junie gives you a strong look. Do you know how often someone gets out to one of those old Solheim wrecks? They're more trouble than they're worth, but contained inside, there's an entire history to uncover. I need that ship mind. And you're welcome to it, she pauses. I promise to help you get what you need and not to get in your way. I know I can't force you or trick you into taking me. That's why I wanted to offer you this instead. She indicates the terminal, still showing the ship's final resting place. I hoped that maybe if I helped you find what you needed, it would show I can be trusted. I really hope I don't regret this. I trust you. Thank you for saying so. I'll send the coordinates to your ship and I'll be hanging around the gate until you're ready to leave. She shifts in front of the terminal and plugs in her deck, tapping away at rapid speed. If you need to go get supplies from the spindle or anything else, fine. She folds her arms. I'll wait. But if you go on this job without me, I'll get the message, she shrugs. You won't see me again. If you need to go get supplies from the spindle or anything else, fine. She folds her arms. I'll wait. With that, you leave her in the archive, extracting data as you ascend back to Hellion Gate's upper levels. New crew available, new contract on map. Okay. I kind of want to like look around up here too, though. This shattered, jagged old barge once carried a fleet's worth of fuel. With care and time, you may be able to scavenge some of it for your ship. Search for supplies. Cutaway scrap, data scrapping. Okay. Okay, so we need to go back to Spindle to fill up the ship and get supplies. Come here, pick her up. How do we like get, or do we, or is it, do I actually have to come back here like literally, like physically to get her? Or do I just need to make sure I select her in the crew menu when I go do the contract? Like that's technically getting her. Oh, I think we do have to come back here anyway to even get that contract. Yeah. Sleeper. Seraphim catches your attention as you go to leave the ship. Can I have a minute? Seraphim ducks into a maintenance passage and waits for you to follow. In the narrow passage framed by loose wires and thick conduits, Seraphim looks suddenly small, trapped. He looks at an open circuitry panel as he speaks, avoiding your gaze. You see he's playing with a coin in his hand, nervously spinning it in the air. Since we cleared Hexport, I've been putting feelers out for something. He rubs his hand nervously. I've been in the belt a long time and I came here alone, but back on Darkside, just before we made a break for it, I heard something. I heard someone was looking for me. He pauses, trying to organize his thoughts. Who's after you? I also heard something else. They said the person looking for me claimed to be my sister. He waits for a reaction. You have a sister? I did, yeah. Or I do. He shakes his head. But I don't even know if it's really her. Just because someone says they're my sister, well, I can't be sure. The thing is, I haven't seen my sister in a long time. I was still a kid when I left. So was she, though I don't think she would have liked to admit it at the time. He smiles to himself. I know you don't remember how it was back in Darkside, I mean. He sighs, but we were alone, you and me. Lane didn't let us out much, just to work, and that was all. So when I overheard one of his guys mention someone was sniffing around trying to find me, I didn't know what to think, he frowns. And then hearing it could have been my sister, he goes quiet. You try to recall that time, the cycle spent under Lane's influence, working for him in exchange for stabilizer. You close your eyes, focus, but the details flicker. The images collapse and reform. Has Seraphim told you this before? Was this all part of your plan? Wait, is this why you helped me escape? Yes, he shrugs. It changed things for me. The thought that she could be out there. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to get you out of there too. He pauses and you sense he's finding this difficult. I know it doesn't matter now, but I told you about her back then, before. I'm sorry I don't remember. It's okay, Sleeper, I understand. Since we got away, since Hexport, I've been asking around, speaking to spacers, traders, and like I said, something's finally come up. It seems whoever was trailing me left Darkside pretty soon after Utsubo caught wind of her sniffing around. I thought they made her feel very welcome, or I doubt they made her feel very welcome, but I managed to get a name. The name she gave, Luz, wasn't my sister's, but that doesn't mean much. It gave me something to follow. She bounced around the wash a little. Far spindle, flotsam, not sure why. He squints at a loose wire. The last thing she did was book passage to Wellspring on a Lodic freighter. That's it. I could have helped. I wanted something concrete, something clear. You want to help? Now's your chance. I want to go to Wellspring, Sleeper, to know if it's really her. If it isn't, to settle what needs settling. Let's do it. Thank you, Sleeper. He meets your eye. I will admit it's been strange, reminding myself that everything we talked about back on Darkside, everything we did, it's lost now. He smiles, but I'm glad to see you're still you, whatever that means. I'm not sure I know who I am. Me neither, he smiles. Anyway, better get back to it. Seraphim squeezes past you in the corridor and glides back towards the engine room. You watch him go, wondering if your paths together can ever be reclaimed. Your mind wanders to thoughts of Seraphim's sister. For a moment, you wonder what it's like to have family, and if you ever will know. Okay. So, we need to buy fuel and supplies. And then we're gonna go do our contract for our ship mind and hope that Junie doesn't fuck us over. Sleeper, Nimma wants to see you. You nod to the other volunteers as you wipe off your hands and clip your cutlery to the magnetic rack. You drift out to the improvised canteen on your way to the kitchen in the back. It was a busy shift and each shift seems busier than the last. That makes sense, of course. You've seen the steady flow of refugees arriving from the inner system, and most of them with barely a chit to their name end up in the underhang. As you cross into the kitchen, you can still hear the rumble of the refugees' conversations through the hatch. The other chef leads you past the rehydrators and the hand-built centrifugal oven to a small office unit at the back of the kitchen. They knock on the door for you, then glide away to finish their own meal, leaving you to wait by it. You look around the small but carefully arranged kitchen as you wait, your shifts here having left you familiar with the mix of improvised and salvage equipment, some of which you had never seen before you came here. Come in, Sleeper. Nimba's perched at a desk, uplit by a small transparent terminal screen, reading glasses perched on the end of his nose. Hi, Tundra, welcome in. You've seen Nimba before, but not as much as you'd imagine you would while working at a place called Nimba's Kitchen. Even though there isn't a proper sign out front, everyone in the underhang knows its name. The man himself is more of a mystery. Apart from the occasional barked order in the busy kitchen, he's little more than a blur to you. Why do you work here? He barely looks up from his terminal screen, the scrolling text reflected on his lenses. I like to stay busy. Uh-huh. Nimbus stops scrolling the screen and looks over his glasses at you. You do well here, Sleeper. You're fast, precise, you're doing good work. He goes back to scrolling. Thanks. Nimba lifts a hand in response. That's my worry, Sleeper. Good workers like you, they move on fast. He leans back and looks at you. 10 cycles, maybe more, maybe less, and then they're gone. And the team gets used to having them here, gets used to working at that pace. Then suddenly, they have to work differently. They have to pick up the slack, change jobs, change stations, and a few of them think, well, maybe it's time I moved on too. So what I found is good workers are trouble, especially those who come and go, like you. He pauses, watching you. This place, it runs on consistency, Sleeper. Those that turn up every cycle, good or bad, they get the people fed. He takes off his reading glasses, inspecting them for smudges. Let's be honest, that ain't you. So let's cut to it. I can't use you in the kitchen anymore. You're done, he shrugs. Sorry. But this place also runs on all those machines out there. On the suppliers I can rope in, the donations. Feeding refugees from the inner system is logistics as much as it is chefing. He shakes his head, which is why I'm cooped up in the back. So, maybe you're gone. I never see you again. Okay, thanks for coming. We'll soldier on without you. But maybe you still want to be useful. Maybe I heard you have a ship. He smiles at you. Yeah, maybe I heard you chatting. And maybe I have a little something held up in a place only a ship like yours can reach. I negotiated the purchase of some valuable intersystem spores from a group that came from there, but they somehow ended up at the depot in Greenbelt. Nimbus sighs. So, if you head to Greenbelt... Hi. Hi, honey. Oh, is it nap time? She just popped up in my lap, scared the shit out of me. Nimba is an interesting character. Yeah, little Harvey. I love that she just sleeps in my lap while I stream all the time. It is nap time. She's pulling. So, if you head to Greenbelt and you find the delivery and you bring it back while Nimba looks at you pointedly, that'd be helping. That would be the kind of helping a good worker, even an inconsistent worker, might be able to offer me. Nimbus squints at you. Seems like the kind of thing that someone genuine, someone who wants to help for real might do, don't you think? He doesn't wait for your reply, but it also seems like the kind of thing that might sit on a list of priorities for so long it disappears and never gets done. I've seen that happen too. I guess we'll find out which it is. He deftly places his reading glasses back on his face and continues to scroll the screen on his terminal. You know the way out, Sleeper. You turn in the doorway, slightly taken aback, and it slides shut behind you. You glide out through the kitchen, through the improvised canteen, and the people eating and chatting there into the cold, underhang passageway and beyond. All the time considering what you might do next and recalling that persuasive glint in Nimba's eyes. We just got fired for doing a good job, and then sketchily offered a new kind of job. What the helly? Hi, Sam! Yeah, cozy audiobook time.
Cozy audiobook time, sales cozy.
Thank you so much for the 17 months. Thank you, thank you. How you doing? Are you playing the new Rival season? I got back into Overwatch and I haven't played Marvels in a minute, so now I gotta switch gears. Yeah, nice but a little sussy. Did I buy fuel? I bought supplies. I must have bought fuel too. Hey, baby. You eepy? Where are you going? Oh, she left. She was sitting on the arm. I'm doing good. I'm updating it right now. I'm gonna play a few with Ash and check out the new hero. Hell yeah! I've been playing Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines lately. Okay, okay. Yeah, I hear Phoenix is pretty fun. I hear that she's just like a better Hela or something, so. Okay. There are so many drives and quests in this one. It's a little overwhelming. The Far Spindle's an exhausting place to find freelancers. There's no shortage of spacers here, The corridors and bays throng with crew inbound and outbound, on or between contracts, trading stories, contacts, and materials. But whatever language, appearance, or code identifies someone as worth signing on with, you don't seem to have it. Perhaps it's because you are a new face or noticeably unsure, or perhaps it's just because you're a sleeper. You push the thought to the back of your mind and instead focus on what's in front of you, the vast cylindrical tank at the center of Gaia's gyre. Yeah, we rolled, her ult seems super crazy. Yeah, it's actually not as intense as like I thought it was gonna be. Apparently, like, enemies have to have like a spark applied for the ult to like actually like one shot basically, but the like ring it creates goes so far, like you'll still take like 50 something damage from the ring no matter how far you are. Like there's not really like any escaping it, which is pretty crazy. Space is big and has many quests. True. Wolverine, wait, did Wolverine get buffed? What's with Wolverine? The first time you entered the bar, you floated open-mouthed, much like all the new arrivals do, at the sight of the huge kelp stack, the biggest you've ever seen. Even now, your eyes fixed on the fronds of seaweed that wave in circulating water, beyond the curve of dirty glass, you find it impressive. You take a sip of the harsh, saline-scented rack from its magnetic vessel, secured to the bar as you suck on the straw, your eyes following the shifting fronds. You hear someone clearing their throat beside you at the bar. I heard his post-kidnap Giga Slashes last longer. Great, love that. Hypnotic, isn't it? The voice is low and rumbling and comes from the large figure on the stool next to you. The fluorescent lights behind the bar glint in his eyes, shining up into his wide, rough face. Lifesteal with Phoenix team up? Oh shit. That does not sound great. I've heard talk you're hiring. The figure turns to face you. You don't recognize him, but in the shifting light of Gaia's Gaia, that isn't surprising. And you are? Eugen, currently freelance. He turns on his stool and leans back a little. The effect is clearly meant to impress on you his size, and you have to admit it works. Served on a whole slate of crews out of the spindle. Cutters, mercs, extractors. He smiles and places a broad hand on his chest. Broad skill set, good work ethic, sense of humor, the full package. Humble too. We recruited this guy. I forgot about this on our first run. I just didn't do this yet on this run. He clucks with his tongue, smiling. I like you already. We're gonna get on. I'll run anything out of the far spindle. I'm tough and quiet, and you won't need to worry about me. He folds his arms across his chest. What kind of work are we talking about? Before you can answer, a voice echoes from behind you. Eugen! You look over your shoulder for the source of the shout. Busy as ever, I see. A group of 3 spacers drift up behind you, one of them placing a heavy hand on your shoulder. She's fitted with matte metal optical implants, and you cannot see her eyes. The caustic light from the tank plays across her face. Too busy to keep in touch, she sighs. I really don't like it when I have to come and find you. Vesna, Eugen nods politely at her, not betraying any strong reaction. Do I look like I'm socializing? He shakes his head. This is a meeting. Oh, a meeting. Vesna squeezes your shoulder. Is that what this is? Yes, Vesna, we're talking about your delivery, in fact. Eugen smiles widely. My friend here is being very helpful. He shoots you a knowing glance. Eugen shoots you another glance to try to cue you in, but you ignore him. Vesna looks irritated. You know, Eugen, I'm pretty tired of this whole act. She gestures dismissively at him. But in the end, it doesn't matter. She drops her hand from your shoulder to her belt. Your eyes follow it down and you see a dark, boxy shape there. A weapon? You either deliver by the deadline or you don't. And when you don't, she smiles tightly. I'll be happy to take you through the consequences. Until then, she shoots you a final glance. Chat to whoever the hell you want. Vesna and the 2 spacers flanking her glide out of the bar, and Eugen watches them go with little emotion. Hi, RPG. Welcome in. Yeah, it's good. I loved the first one, so I am enjoying this one quite a bit. So, Eugen's smile returns. You were about to hire me? What was that? Vesna, he shrugs. She's just trying to rush me, that's all. I won't be working with her again. He pauses, choosing his words carefully. Of course, I can't talk about the particulars. You understand. Vesna just wants to scare you off. She likes to cause me trouble. Eugen looks away. Out of the door of the bar, let's not let her. He pauses in silence for a moment, still looking away. You try to get a read on him, but his face is blank. Only his glittering eyes hint at some rapid internal activity. No, we're not allowed on the desk. Oh, it's the baby. She does not want to be held. Hi. No, we're not allowed on the desk, little one. I got one wiggle in before I had to put her down. She's surveying her realm from her throne. One whole wiggle. Mom, stop! He turns back to you and meets your eye, a sudden shift in his manner obvious. If you need crew, you need to work. If you need to work, you need cryo. Is that right? He doesn't stop for your answer. Well, I can offer both. Hard work and a good contract with a good payout. You take me with you on this job of mine and we split the take. He looks down, thinking. Hell, if you do, I'll consider signing on long term, he smiles. Think of that. No more recruiting. What's the job? Salvage, he leans in. I know of a wreck untouched by the local crews, which recently turned up in the wash. It's just a little sunward from here, but it's disabled. Transponder makes it invisible to anyone who doesn't know it's there. Had to squeeze a location out of a contact, but I'll share it with you for a straight split. Take me and your crew and we'll claim it all. It's gonna be a good payout, he winks. A really good one. What's the catch? Eugen frowns. No catch. He leans back and looks around the bar. Happy to take the offer elsewhere. I just felt like you were right captain for this one. I'll be ready to go whenever you like. Eugen pauses. As a show of good faith, I'll also fly out with you on any job from the far spindle. But I'm not leaving the station with you yet. Not till we got my job done first. After that, we can talk flying together. No need to rush into it. He shakes your hand firmly, his palm rough and pitted, then turns back to his drink. You slip out of the bar, looking to see if Vesma's nearby. You don't spot her among the passing crews, but you can't help but imagine eyes on you in the bar. You shake it off, having become familiar with the feeling of being observed. What matters is you've found yourself a crew member and a contract. Whether either will come good, however, remains to be seen. And an upgrade point. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do the minus stress on the positive outcome this time. Okay. So I kind of want to go ahead and do his contract so we add him to our crew, I think. But I need to spin the rest of these dice first. Guess we can use this to make some money. Cool. All right, let's go do this with Eugen. Let's go. Hi, Kelvala. This is not what you promised. Seraphin turns to Eugen with a raised eyebrow. Looking out across the field of debris scattered around the small asteroid whose gravity's kept them here, you have to agree. Where do you even start looking? Eugen shrugs, unfazed. I said the wreck was hidden, transponder off, no flight records. I didn't say it was intact. If it was an easy job, I wouldn't have come with your crew. Could have just grabbed it myself, he winks. We all earn our share. That's definitely more than one wreck. Bliss is leaning towards the window, staring out at the glinting debris. I see at least 3, maybe 4 different engine housings out there. Seraphin sighs. You really think there's something of value to be pulled from all that? I know there is. My tip-off's good. We just need to find the right part. He looks out at the wide field of debris of the right ship. And how do we do that? What I know is that a wreck with an item of great value is out here. That's it. He unstraps from his seat. Are you all afraid of some hard work? Is that it? Seraphin starts laughing. So you're telling me we don't know what we're looking for, where it is, or what it's worth? Trust me or don't, Eugen shrugs. This will be worth your while. This is a hot tip. Sleeper, please. Seraphin turns to you, exasperated. Suddenly, a percussive beep interrupts the conversation. All of you turn your attention to Seraphin's terminal. What the? He taps a few keys. We've got an incoming ship. Their transponder just popped up. See? Eugen smiles. What I say, a hot tip. We better claim it before they do. He jabs a finger at the readout. What have you got us into? Eugen looks innocent. I've given you a head start on a big haul. Don't waste it. I see a few obvious sights, large bits of debris, clear hull sections. We should focus on those. Bliss unclips from their seat and glides out of the cockpit. See you lucky kids in the airlock. Ready, Cap? Eugen slaps you on the shoulder and kicks off through the cockpit door. Turn to Seraphin. I do not like that guy. Seraphin shakes his head. Me neither. Then what are we doing out here, Sleeper? He sighs. Look. Seraphin glances back over her shoulder. Just be careful. You nod and glide through the cockpit door, already trying to map the scattered debris in your mind. This is gonna suck. Des! Saint, why are you dead? No dead. Alright. Clear the wreckage. Search the wreckage. Dive the debris. Rather than scanning, the direct approach to finding the wreck could be as simple as kicking off the debris and field hunting it down. Analyze the debris. Slice the door. The shuttle's airlock won't budge. The fast way through is to cut it, but with the shuttle's thick armor, it's a tough job for skilled hands. I don't know where to start. Guess we'll try the crushed shuttle. Getting into the shuttle will take some work, but you swear you see the blinking light of a terminal inside. Let's try this, I guess. Seraphin has detected the transponder of an incoming ship. Who's on your trail, and what do they want? Well, scrape the terminals. Perhaps there's something useful hidden on their decaying drives. Great, neither one of them have. Cool, cool, cool. All right, you guys are gonna have to go in. I don't know what to tell you. Fuck. Okay, not you. Oh, shit. Okay. This isn't good. Wow, I got shit rolls. Okay. Nice. Wait, what did that do for me? Did that even do anything for me? Did that not even do anything? Bruh. Fuck. Hi, call leader. Welcome in. I'm a machinist. Shit. False leads. That is so unfortunate. So unfortunate because now this ship is gonna be here. Eugen, you piece of shit, where are you? The distorted voice rattles through the ship as you are all finishing your breakfast in the mess. Everyone turns to look at Eugen, Seraphin already shaking his head. Vesna, he says under his breath, you suddenly recall the steel-eyed captain who confronted Eugen and the Geyer back on the far spindle. Open this airlock before I do something I'll regret. As her voice echoes through the room, you realize she must be at the rig's entry lock, using the comms panel out there to speak into the ship. Eugen? He shoots you a resigned look. We should let her in. You kick off towards the door, but Seraphin drifts between you and the exit. Sleeper, you sure about this? You can see he's angry, but he's also looking to you for reassurance. Be ready. Seraphin nods and his eyes darken. I'll be ready. Eugen follows as you glide down to the airlock and hit the control for the exterior door. Let me handle her. Eugen gives you a nod. This is my ship. He raises his hands in submission and drifts back a little. You watch as the airlock cycles and you see the silhouette of Vesna through the viewing window as she removes her helmet of her suit. You prepare yourself for whatever comes next, hoping that Seraphin is somewhere nearby. Thank you. Vesna floats through the airlock door, her eye implants making it hard to read her expression. I prefer not to have to stand outside, banging on the door. She turns to Eugen, seeing him behind you. But I also prefer it when my contractors don't try to screw me over. What do you want? She smiles. I want, she pauses, what I asked for. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you don't know what you've got yourself in the middle of here. She speaks plainly with little emphasis, but if you make a move, we're gonna have some trouble. This slimy shit here, she jerks her chin towards Eugen, got these coordinates thanks to my tip-off and was meant to deliver them to me. She smiles and shakes her head. That was the deal. But instead, he thought he'd come and claim the prize for himself and bring you fools along for the ride. Eugen? Tell whatever stories you want, Vesna. Until I'm paid, there's no deal. Eugen smiles. Did you pay me, Vesna? Vesna looks frustrated. You know as well as I do that payment was on the receipt of the coordinates. Well, sorry to say, I won't be able to deliver. Eugen shrugs, deals off. You piece of shit. Vesna's hand goes to her hip. Now you're a guest on this. Now you're a guest on this ship. Seraphin's voice comes from somewhere behind you. Let's all remember that. You turn back to see Seraphin holding a hull bolter at his waist, its wide muzzle trained on Vesna. Vesna lets her hand go loose at her side, abandoning her threat. Of course, she sighs. I thought you might all see the breach of trust in this situation, but I was wrong. Get off the ship. Gladly, she backs a little towards the airlock door. Eugen, she looks at the freelancer. Don't think I'll back off. My team can find this thing faster than any mongrel crew, she smiles. First to the prize takes all. Stay silent. Vesna slips back into the airlock and hits the control panel. The doors scissor shut. Eugen suddenly tumbles forward as something hits him in the side of the head. Idiot! Seraphin stands behind Eugen, having swung the heavy muzzle of the hull bolter directly into his head. If you ever put this crew in danger like that again... Seraphin's right. Eugen catches himself on the wall. It's okay, he wipes a little blood from his forehead. I get it. That was sloppy. Your whole thing is sloppy, Seraphin bristles. This is how you get yourself killed. As much as I'm enjoying this display of aggression and idiocy, Bliss's voice comes from behind you all, we still have a contract to complete. They push past the start, suiting up. And now we have competition. We should leave. Seraphin slings the hull bolter into his shoulder. Cut our losses. Now wait. Eugen wipes the corner of his mouth with the back of his hand. All this and you're gonna give up and turn tail? Eugen's right. Shit, Seraphin sighs. You're right. All right, he glides over to Eugen and pats him on the shoulder. Time for you to prove your worth. I'll be watching. Yikes. New location discovered. Vesna's hunt. Vesna's determined to find the wreck and claim its prize. If you don't get to it first, this will all be for nothing. All right, we're almost done with this at least. Okay, dude, he's super stressed. As he fucking should be, bitch. Unlock with Cypher? Input 1 unstable. Oh my god!
Sails cozy.
Driver! Thank you for the cutie-chan! Thank you, thank you! Bruh, you gave me a heart attack. Thank you, thank you! I don't know where we got this Cypher thingy. Wrecked cargo bay. Also another heart attack today, yeah. Driver, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Slice the wreckage. Fuck, why do you have so much stress? The cargo bay doors shudder open in silence as Eugen levers them apart. This is it, the final layer to pull back before you reach Eugen's mysterious prize. You can't help but feel a little excited. There's also a sense of satisfaction to the idea that you beat Vesna's crew to the wreck. You found it, you cracked it open, and now you'll be the one to reap the rewards. Focus on the job. The doors are open enough for a person to glide through now. Beyond, there's only the darkness of the cargo bay. You follow Eugen in, the headlamps on your suit lighting his back in the dusty void beyond. You see the boxes appear, as if by magic, out of the dark. Eugen glides past them. Does he not see them? You stop and take a look at the loot. A stack of 4 sealed boxes sit in the middle of the bay, their armored exteriors caked in dust. You wipe it away and squint at the aging label. They look like industrial ship components, still sealed, totally untouched. In the belt, where most tech's been through hundreds of hands, patched up and reconfigured, this is a solid haul, but not the kind of haul that gets crews fighting over it. Something doesn't add up. They aren't here, Eugen's voice cackles through the radio. What? Back wall of the bay, come see. You kick off from the crates and glide through the dark until you see Eugen, the back wall of the cargo bay, and something that confuses you for a second. A black shape, a ragged circle, around Eugen. You squint. Inside it, tiny lights twinkle. It takes you a moment, but you slowly realize that you're looking through a hole in the wall, to the stars beyond. Someone beat us to it. His voice is flat. They're long gone. Are you serious? Look for yourself, he points. This happened a while ago. They punched in and took it. What aren't you telling me? Eugen turns back to you, his face pale in your torch headlights. He seems to be lost for words. Folks? Bliss's voice comes through the suit comms channel. I've got Seraphim telling me Vesna's crew are heading this way, so whatever you've got in there, if you want to keep it, grab it and get out now. I'm already heading for the rig. I'll get the cargo bay open and prepped for your arrival. They pause. Don't dawdle. Take one last look. You scan the bay and notice braces built into the floor near the hole. Whatever this thing was, it was big and tied down. Eugen suddenly seems to regain his focus. The crates, he nods. Let's grab them and go. You glide back across the bay, your mind still racing with questions. Something about Eugen's reaction tells you he knew what he was expecting to find here. If that's the case, you think it's yet another lie he's told you. You both reach the crates and quickly lash them together, guiding them weightlessly out of the room between you. As you do, you meet eyes with Eugen, and he looks away. I really hope you two idiots are on your way back, Seraphim chirps over the radio, because Vesna's boys are just about to reach that wreck you're on. We're inbound, Eugen quickly responds, then clicks his radio off. Well, 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 Seraphim continues. Tell me then, what ancient and powerful treasure did you find in that thing? Gold? A Conway warhead? 3 crates of components. Seriously? Seraphim pauses. Sleeper, me and you are gonna need to have a serious chat. You cross the debris field to the ship in silence, your eyes on the scrap for a sign of Vesna's crew. You don't think they'd ambush you, but then again, you wouldn't put it past them. As you reach the cargo bay and you guide the crates through the open door, you shoot Eugen a final glance. Give me time, he says quietly over the radio. I'll explain in time. You consider pressing him, even shouting at him, but you realize there'll be plenty of time for that on the journey back to the far spindle. For now, you just want to get out of here. Dude, I hate him. This sucked. What a lying piece of shit. Oh, gods. My dice are breaking. Wait, I didn't get any... Oh, wait, did I just hit end cycle and not go home? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck! That's so annoying. I broke my dice for no reason. Eugen spent the journey back to the far spindle, avoiding Seraphim as best he can. It might be that he's afraid, but you get the feeling it's more likely he's been making himself scarce out of genuine sense of regret. Seraphim, however, doesn't see his behavior so favorably. Slimy shit won't even show his face, Seraphim complains loudly as he finalizes docking. Put us in a spacer crew's sights with no care for anyone but himself. You hear the rustle of movement behind your head and turn to see Eugen in the cockpit's doorway, a rare, serious expression on his face. I owe you all an explanation. His voice is low and steady. Believe it or not, this was not my plan. Yeah, your plan was to find the loot in that wreck and split with it, wasn't it, big man? Seraphim glares at Eugen. No. Eugen gives him a tired look. It wasn't. Hear him out, Seraphim. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Vesna's been searching for a ship. Eugen looks over your heads at the far spindle. An infamous ship. Seemed like she already had a ship, Seraphim interrupts. That was part of the problem. Not a rig, Eugen looks down towards him. A fraction drive ship, an interstellar ship. That seems to shut Seraphim up, and you don't blame him. An interstellar ship here in the belt? That's tech from the core systems. Why didn't you say? I shouldn't even be telling you now, Eugen frowns. Word gets out that there's a factory fresh fraction ship somewhere in the belt. People kill for less. He shakes his head. Gangs kill for much less. You're telling me there's a fraction ship that no one's ever found that's been sitting here since when? Seraphin shakes his head. Since the collapse? Believe it or not, that's exactly it. Eugen looks to you. Vesna's put me on the trail. She wanted me to find its location for repayment. He looks away. An old debt. My systems. But the moment I found the data that verified its existence, that confirmed the ship was out there, I couldn't give it to her. That's when you found me. Why keep it from her? Eugen folds his arms. You may have met Vesna, but you don't know her. Eugen meets your eye. She's one of the last people on the belt who should have a ship like that. Well, no one has the ship now, if it even exists. Need I remind you that it wasn't there? Seraphin shrugs. Your data was a bust. No, Eugen shakes his head. It was there, once. Those wrecks? Those were the ships that fought over the fraction ship. A bunch of Solheim corporates who wanted to get out of the system when it all came down, and that ship was their ticket. The Aphelion path, Eugen looks out at the far spindle. It was there, but someone moved it, hid it long before we got there. Sounds like a fantasy to me. Eugen nods. I believe in this fantasy, Sleeper. Eugen inhales, long and deep. I'm sorry, Sleeper. He looks at Bliss and Seraphin, and to you both as well. I wanted to keep this secret. I wanted to find the Aphelion path, and I knew that if I did, you would understand. Still, I was wrong to manipulate you. He bows his head. But I'm not done. He raises his head, his gaze hard now. I will find the ship, and I will leave the belt. How'll you do that? Seraphin shoots him a sly look. With no ship of your own and Vesna at your back? Eugen ignores him and moves closer to you. Sleeper, I will uphold our deal. I will serve on your crew, and when I have news of the Aphelion, you will know. I don't think I'm interested, man. This guy has done nothing but lie since the beginning. He almost got us all killed. And for what? To just help him find this fucking ship so he can leave the belt? Like, I don't care. Find, like, another crew. Like, this isn't even, like, a joint goal for all of us. It's just for you. Sorry, not interested. You hear that? Seraphin cuts in. We're not falling for your shiny myth. This can be your escape too, Sleeper. Eugen meets your eye. Okay, wait. He said he was... How many people can fit in this ship? Because he made it sound like he just wanted to find it and go away for himself. But at what cost, man? He's sketchy. Nah, get off my ship. Eugen nods, looking down. So be it. You heard them. Seraphin gets up from his seat. Get out of here. Eugen looks between you and the ducks out of the cockpit. A few moments later, you hear the hiss of the exterior door opening. Good riddance. Seraphin leaves the cockpit. Bliss gives you a nervous look. I hope I never give you cause to be treated like that. They slip out before you can respond. What? How can Bliss even feel this way? That guy almost got Bliss killed too. He was sketchy and lied from the beginning. Like, what? Hi, John Kiwi! You stare out of the cockpit at the lights of the fire spindle. Trust, once broken, cannot be rebuilt, and you have to trust your crew. Drive failed. See, hearing Drive failed makes me wonder if I fucked up and I should have just trusted him, but he was super sketchy. I don't know, man. How you doing, John? Happy Friday. All right, well, I guess we can go do the ship mine thing now. She might have said that a lot less judging, but more so hoping that she never fucks up like this. But, like, it wasn't just like a... He didn't just, like, fuck up. He, like, blatantly, like, lied, manipulated for his own... Like, that's not, like, oops, I fucked up. Like, that's, like... I don't know. That wasn't just a fuck up. Like, hi, Patrick. How you doing? That wasn't just a fuck up, man. Okay, so now we need to go extract the ship mind. My day is done now for weekend where I'll probably still be working. No working on the weekend, Patrick. No working on the weekends. If his plan had worked out, you'd have the greatest treasure in the system. Would I? Or would he still have just tried to take it for himself? I can't trust him. I wanted to phrase it in a short manner. Hi, Blackmore! As you said, it was manipulation and betrayal of trust. 100%. And it was all like in a selfish, like, he just used us to get what he wanted. And then when it didn't work out, then he decided to be truthful. Hi, Lilith. Welcome in. Nah, fuck him. Seem like a guy that suddenly stands with a pillow in front of your bed at night. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, I guess. True. Okay. I guess I could go ahead and use these here or something. So interested in your comfort? Oh, a Solheim data. That's interesting. All right. Now we're trusting Junie. Okay, before we do this, I have to pee again, so I'm gonna take a quick break. And then we will see if Junie backstabs us as well. All right, BRB chat. I'm back. Mevers, that emote is hilarious. Thank you so much for the giga emote, Mevers. What the hell? It's so good. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's like the small crimes, but even better. I think it's the hee-hee. It looks like it's the hee-hee cat, but in jail. Thank you guys. I can already feel my voice like starting to go. I've read so much today. That's Horn in Twitch jail. He is, yeah. Thanks, Elder. All right. Goodbye, Bee's voice. Yeah, I already like feel it going. It's strained. Sailor really has to pee. True. Audiobook is going well. Am I boring you guys? Okay, let's do this. We're also about 4 hours into stream already. Yeah, it's been so much reading. It's so good though. We're too far sunward, sleeper. Seraphim turns back in his chair to look at you. I don't like it. It's hard not to agree. The coordinates Junie found have drawn you out of Hellion Gate and almost out of the belt completely, into the soft rubble-strewn transition with the Hellion system, to the edge of Conway-controlled space. Nice, Elder! Patrick! Be nice to me, I'm sensitive. That's why this ship's likely to be untouched, Junie surveys the wreck coldly. It's too far sunward for belt traffic to run into. And now with Conway drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site. Lucky us. The flow of the dice keeps drawing and pushing. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, true. Hell yeah, Core. Junie eyes you, trying to detect if you're being sarcastic or not. I doubt anyone's been here in decades, so actually I would say we are lucky. Any drone signals? Nothing I can see, but I don't dare reach out too far. Seraphim flicks a few switches. We should assume they're out there. As you look out at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraphim. He's seen it too. We better get to it, sleeper. Seraphim begins unclipping from his seat, quickly and quietly. From what I understand, Conway drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest. Junie unclips too. So as long as we're quiet, we don't have to contend with an operator, just automated search sweeps. So if we're detected, we'll be killed by a machine, not a person. Bliss shakes their head. I don't find that very reassuring. They get up out of the corner seat and glide towards the back of the ship to get suited up. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk, you know that, but you need this ship mind, so no matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. Okay. I want to just press F5 so bad, but there's no quick save in this. This isn't Baldur's Gate. All right, let's see here. Explore the ship. So you'll do good here. Okay. You got really shit rolls there, Bliss. Love that. Thank you for your contribution. Why am I getting all the stress? You better get a neutral. That's not good, Chief. What a great start. Cool, 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 cool. Think we're gonna rest this one off, boys. Action unavailable. Great. We got some good dice this time. All right. Genie leads you deep into the wreck, through crushed and twisted corridors, floating panels and wires appearing suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. The game was very nice with the dice breaks, though. This could have been a disaster with 5 stress points. Yeah. Just as you begin to tire of the endless dark and the haze of particles washing over your suit, Genie leads you into a chamber where the ceiling is torn open to reveal the stars. At its center lies a cylindrical object, half your height but raised on a complex pedestal from which countless thick cables snake off into the dark like braided hair. 1 or 2 of them float freely, waving back and forth with glinting, severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls or twist and curve out of sight. Beautiful, isn't it? Genie stares at the prime ship mind, the stars reflected in her faceplate. Not bad. Genie glides over to the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires. As she takes out her terminal and looks for an access port, she talks, softly, her voice carried through the suit comms. These cables lead off to every one of the ship systems: engines, life support, navigation, lighting, networking, you name it. Shipmind has hardwired access to them all. When an old ship like this was running well, the shipmind would distribute itself, some of its protocols running freely in different sections. It would be less like a single governing mind and more like a load of systems clumped together to form a complex living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being. A plant with incredibly rapid processing power and a much more accelerated response time than your average tree. You watch as she finds an access port and slips a cable inside, slotting a translucent screen onto the top edge of her deck. Let's see here. Genie's screen fills with bright scrolling data. Incredible. There's so much here. She hits a few keys. I'll start copying this over. It's everything I need. You watch as Genie starts rapidly tapping at her keyboard, her attention sucked into the data she's extracting. Junie, the shipmind? She snaps out of her trance. Sorry, yes, let me check. As I thought, she sighs. So, like I was saying, the protocols inside the shipmind are distributed. So when the shipmind's shut down, unexpectedly, the protocols are rarely all contained in this unit. She places a hand gently on the cylinder. As is the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere, in the ship system nodes. She taps a few keys, which is a problem. Why does it matter? If we rip this thing out now, with parts of its protocols elsewhere, it's probably going to destroy itself the moment we turn it on. It doesn't matter what we're going to wipe the whole thing anyway. It'll be too late. The mind inside the shipmind will be broken. But if we find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up, and then disconnect them, the protocols will be sent right back into the shipmind here, and we can take it out clean. How do we find the nodes? We either ask the cradle very nicely, or we spend the next cycles following these cables to see where they lead. I've got an incoming signal. Seraphine's voice suddenly cuts through on comms, urgent and nervous. If you're lighting up the systems and networks down there, time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle, and the two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off from the shipmind. Suddenly, a faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out, and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses, then fades. You take a breath. Too close. Conway drone, Junie whispers, sniffing the network. We're clear, Seraphine chimes in again. I've turned off almost all the rig systems, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to a minimum. Understood, Junie cuts in. But we'll need to access the networks to get this shipmind out quickly. Then I hope you're feeling lucky. There's a click as Seraphine closes the line. You and Junie look at each other again, and then at the shipmind, encased in its cradle, wrapped in cables. This isn't going to be easy. Bruh. I don't know if I trust her. I feel like we should just rip it out and leave. Hi, Tofu. Hi, J-Hud. Welcome in. This is a... I don't even know. I'm curious what Steam actually categorizes this at, but the way I describe it, it's an RPG visual novel with dice allocation and RNG. Well, you have trust issues when they axe us and give you reasons not to trust them. My mind just blew up. Yeah, it's really good though. This is the second one. I think they're both on sale for the Steam sale right now. I think you can get like a bundle of 1 and 2. But I definitely recommend them if you're interested in sci-fi, space, cyberpunk genre, and if you like good storytelling and you don't mind. It's a lot of reading, but it's really cozy. The music is phenomenal. It's dice-driven RPG, okay? They're so good. They truly are so good. Like, I will always sing praises of these games. All right. Neither one of them are good here, and only Junie is good here, and she's out of dice, so that's just great. That's really just fucking awesome, mates. Probably need to give it a try. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cyberpunky in that, like, you play what's called a sleeper. You're basically a human mind implanted into a cybernetic. So it's got like some cyberpunk elements. The art is kind of cyberpunky. It's definitely more like sci-fi than like cyberpunky, but... Welcome back, Black Mole. Hello, Governor. Uh-oh. I don't really want to use my skill again. I've got so much stress right now. Sheesh! Please give me 2. Please give me 2. Please give me 2. Please give me 2. Oh, shit. Okay. It's not looking good. One of my dice broke. Cool, 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 cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Port disconnects. Cut node. One clean cut through connecting cable and the node will be disconnected, but mess it up and there could be trouble. So that leads to port disconnects. Starboard disconnect. Disconnecting its nodes by any means will allow the ship mine to be extracted safely. Okay, we're gonna go with this one, I guess. Hi, Tangent. Welcome in. Was that a false fucking lead? I'm gonna fucking crash out, bro. Or do I have to do both? I need this to be positive. It's ready, sleeper. Junie's voice comes quietly through your comms. You look over to her, floating beside the cradle, uplit by the pale screen of her deck. She gives you a reassuring nod. You turn to the prime ship mine, now floating above its cradle. The final node's disconnected and the lock's released. You glide over and gently grab it, the worn metal casing gleaming in the dim light. As you do, you feel a strange sensation of something moving around inside, like a creature in a box. The weight shifting this way and that under the pressure of your grip. It suddenly dawns on you that Jean-Mi plans to put you inside this strange device, to hold your mind there while he investigates your body. The thought prompts a shiver. That drone's still sniffing around, sleeper. Seraphine's voice crackles on the comms. So if you have what you need, let's go. You feel Junie's hand fall on your shoulder. Come on, sleeper, don't overthink it. She pats you gently. There'll be plenty of time for that later. You look up and see a faint red light glittering in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. Time to leave. Whew. We did it. That was looking real dicey. There was only one more before a Conway alert. We're winning, Juven. We're doing it. Just barely. But we're doing it. Yeah, that was dicey. Arriving back at the Helion gate, as lonely and cold as it is, feels like a relief. There was a tension in the rig as you came back out the inner system, a watchfulness for errant signals and glinting red beacons that choked the conversation. But now, floating in the comforting shadow of this vast ruin, the sense of relief is palpable. That's one prime ship mine, condition unknown, retrieved. Seraphin runs the engine shutdown protocols as he speaks. I'd mark that as a success. We cut it a little close. When Seraphin reaches up and flicks a switch above him, do we not? Sleeper, can I speak with you? Junie asks from the back of the cockpit. Of course. She leads you out into the passage, tucking herself against a wall. She looks small, even in this compact space. Thank you for taking me with you. I hope I proved I'm trustworthy. Thanks for helping. That's what I promised. She looked at the floor. In my time here in the belt, I haven't found it easy to make friends. She falters, tripping over her words slightly. But you, Sleeper, well, I hope you'd consider me a friend at least. She can't help but smile. I'm glad. Then I would like to ask you something. She pauses. Would you consider taking me with you on the rig? She blurts out, and then, before you can answer, I think I'd be of help for your diagnostic, and in the meantime, I can take a look at the ship mind, make sure it's ready, and yes, Junie, you can. She stops, speechless. She looks down at her hands and then back up at you. Okay, she smiles. Thank you, She looks down again. I will find a bunk. And she quickly glides off down the corridor before you can say anything further. Another stray collected. Seraphin puts a hand on your shoulder. Quite the refuge we are building here. He gives you the sly smile. We need her. I don't doubt it. Seraphin squeezes your shoulder. Let's get that ship mind to Flotsam. I'm sure Junie will prove herself there once again. He smiles and pushes off from your shoulder, gliding towards the engine room. You look towards the bunks, but Junie's already out of sight, likely unpacking already. The ship's getting a little crowded, but you're starting to realize you like it like that. At very least, she'll prove invaluable when you get to Flotsam and have to deal with Jean-Mi. Perhaps she'll even have a read on the old man. You pause for a second, appreciating the warmth, the hum of the rig and its inhabitants. This ship, you think, is starting to feel like home. Aww, we got a Chivo. All right. I don't know if we have enough fuel to get back. Oh, we could go straight. Yeah, we don't have enough fuel. Okay, we're gonna have to try and get some here. Thank God I have Endure, man. I'm glad after all that I did upgrade that skill. Hi, Alex, welcome in. Okay, we got 10 out of 10 fuel. Can I get any supplies from here? +1 supplies. All right. Now the question is, oh, no, don't encycle. Do I want to go back here first or just go, I think we're just gonna go straight here. Yeah. I do need to repair my dice, though. That's for stress. Improvised dice repair. 2 scrap metal. Oh, I need 2 of these, and I only need 1 of these. Okay. Alright. Minor drive complete, 1 upgrade point. Pog. My dice finally broke that we were able to do that. Alright. Let's go here. 1 ship mine, sir. Prime ship mine delivered. Come, let's get you inside. Jean-Mi swings open the creaking, corroded door beside his booth. Such a prize must have levied a heavy cost. You glance beside you to Junie, who insisted she came along, and on not letting the prime ship mine out of her sight. Your friend too. Yes, yes, please, come in. Jean-Mi beckons and then turns back and disappears inside. Junie squints at you. Are you sure you trust this one? I do. She sighs. Then lead on, I guess. Oh, wait, Junie asked me that. I thought he was asking me if I trust Junie. I don't know if I trust the doctor. Fuck. You both squeeze through the door and drift down into the workshop. You're aware of Junie's eyes wandering across the piles and piles of tech on either side, and you wonder if she recognizes anything among the junk. Sit, sit, sleeper. Jean-Mi's already at the chair, arranging his array of articulated arms. And I'll take that ship mind if you please. I messed up, man. Not that we really have much of a choice to trust him, but... You hold the ship mind in front of you and give it a small push so it floats gently over to Jean-Mi. He grasps it with both hands and takes it to a neat little work table in the back you didn't see before, where thick cables float lazily tethered to the wall. You slide into the chair, hooking your feet behind the bottom bar to hold yourself in place, and watch as Jean-Mi begins connecting up the prime ship mind. A tremble of nervousness runs along your arms. Suddenly, you feel Junie's hand clasp around your own. You look over to her face. Is this okay? I want you to know I'm here. Thanks. She nods silently. Jean-Mi, Junie calls out across the room. You're going to need to talk us through what you're about to do. Of course, of course. Jean-Mi's slotting an arm-fit cable into the ship mind. A little patience, please. All of this is very technical. He turns to face you both. What's your friend's name, sleeper? I feel like when somebody says, oh, this is a very technical process, it's them placating you so that they don't have to explain what they're doing. And now I'm worried. Hi, Big! How's it going? Happy Friday. Junie answers for you, and I can tell you that you are using a Solheim-built data cradle, modified to handle the prime ship mind. She rattles off at speed, which will work as long as you manage the data flow through a polymer-clad overflow cable looped into the asynchronous Cortex cache. Yes, Jean-Mi eyes her, a small smile crossing his lips. As I said, technical. What will happen to me? I hope you're having a good Friday, Big. It's good to see you. Jean-Mi refocuses on you. It depends, he says, while preparing the far end of that thick cable. What you're referring to as me. The problem we have is with your frame, your body. Atypical alterations, biosynthetic recoding, unusual growth. Jean-Mi shakes his head. From the diagrammatics I have, these are not typical of frames, even those that have been rebooted as you have. Starts calculating how many bullshit reasons he can add to the bill later. Exactly, yeah. Shoving a cable into something isn't, though. Yeah. I just feel like people try and play on your, like, non-knowledge of a subject by just saying, oh, this is technical, so that they don't have to explain it to you because they're conning you. In order to investigate safely, I must transplant your emulation. In basic terms, your mind, but in reality, not so basic. He smiles in an attempt at reassurance. Your emulation is an emulation of a human, and a human mind cannot be separated from its sensorium. The mind-body paradigm has been long disproved. Cognition has physical basis. So, I must first distribute the emulation between your hardware and the prime ship mind. The hardware will co-run the emulation, like the 2 lobes of a brain. He puts his hands together as if in prayer, and then slowly separates them. The motion makes you feel sick. Then, for a short period, I will disconnect the 2. In those moments, you will, in a sense, be in 2 places at once, though each lobe will be partial. Too long in this state, and the two partial emulations would decay, but each disconnect will allow me a short period of full access to your entire frame and its base system language. I hope this is understandable. Jean-Mi gives you a serious look. One of the most curiously human aspects of sleeper experience is that you too do not inherently understand or conceive of the systems that allow your existence. Have you done this before? You are the first sleeper I've encountered, so I must answer no. Jean-Mi smiles apologetically, but I can promise you I have tried these concepts in my own practices. I'm familiar with the needs and nuances of artificial minds. AKA, he's watched a YouTube video. Now, before I connect to your frame, let us activate the ship mind. Jean-Mi gestures to Junie. Please, if you would like to come with me and oversee the process, I would be pleased. Junie shoots you a reassuring glance and then glides over to the ship mine, obscuring your view of it. You hear quiet conversation between the two of them, their silhouettes lit by the flickering screen light of scrolling lines of code. You take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous that action is when your frame requires no oxygen at all to function. In-depth YouTube video. Yeah, an in-depth technical YouTube video. Sleeper Extra explained to me on Reddit. Yeah. There's a certain sensation that accompanies such thoughts, a jarring disconnection, like when descending a staircase, your foot expects a step and finds void instead. You try to calm the growing anxiety as Junie and Jean-Mi assess the mind. The ship mind is pristine. Junie turns back and drifts towards you. Our care in its extraction seems to have paid off. Junie smiles. This is good news. Junie is indeed right. You have done well. Jean-Mi approaches. I am, however, seeing only minor traces of the protocol that the ship mind was designed to house. The one that ran the ship it was installed in. I would expect to see it in full. He angles his head but lifts his shoulders in a slow shrug. But protocols are not easy to track. In the end, it only saves us the step of extracting it from the mind. Instead, I simply wiped the traces. Jean-Mi stops beside you. A protocol, Jean-Mi adds, is not like an emulation, like your emulation. It has no integral physical element. It's data only, and therefore could be anywhere in that ship. In the end, its absence does not concern me. It concerns me. I understand, Sleeper, but it's remarkable we have the ship mind at all. This is our opportunity. Jean-Mi lifts the far end of the thick cable you saw earlier. You know this is the end that will connect to the port on the back of your head. Junie settles beside you again. She gives you a silent look. It's time. You turn to one side to allow access to the port, your eyes fixed on the far wall. You see something among the piled tech there that you hadn't noticed before. A small, metal, skull-like head, like that of a doll. You frown, trying to focus on the head, and then the cable connects. You're split like a cell dividing, wrenched in two directions at once. The world goes dark, and the cloud rushes in to fill the gap at your center. Where am I? You ask a question in your mind, and you feel and travel across the gap as it forms, like a finger drawn across your scalp from ear to ear. But not scalp. You have no scalp, no head. You're stretched out like skin of a drum, looped like the string of a noose. The smallest vibration echoes across yourself like a ripple across a puddle. And then you feel it. A strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. A flickering. A trembling. A thought coming into being. The thought flickers in front of you, and you recognize that it's not your own. Assist, a burial. Assist, offer help. Assist, a sickness. Offer help? Dissenter, disintegrate, the thought answers. You fold up in blankness, then a moment after you unfold, like waking. Apparition to appear. Dwelling in dwell, the thought answers. You stretch into infinitude, then a moment after you contract, like waking. To grow inside. Substitute, substrate, the thought answers. Then it approaches, then it enters, then it is yours. You split. Then the moment after, you reform, like waking. And in the cracks that seal up, for a moment in those cracks, something glows. Sleeper, I'm here. Your eyes flick open like shutters. Junie's face is close, her eyes wide. They're awake, she calls over your head. She looks back at you. Easy now, take it slow. You twist, floating, turning your head as if you were underwater, feeling the resistance of a body you'd already forgotten. How long has it been? You feel a weight you haven't felt in... You're okay, sleeper. Tell us you're there. Junie leans in close. What happened? The process was successful. Jean-Mi floats beside the chair, his hands clasped in business-like fashion. I was able to access the frame directly without your emulation being present. I ran the administrator-level diagnostic process built into its system and received the results. He takes a moment to gather himself. Your frame is indeed changing. The protein chains that code your biosynthetic organ group cell replacement have been altered. To put it simply, your body's following a new set of instructions. Didn't the reboot do that? No. The reboot and recoding you underwent simply stopped those protein chains from artificially decaying, breaking your dependence on stabilizer. This process, the entire replacement of your protein chains, could only have been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance, as part of a carefully planned process of total substitution. Older, did you do none of those things? Have you not restocked your Red Bull or got food yet? My nose itches. Mario!
I know this is random, but am I the only one confused by activated charcoal? Like, how do they activate it? I've seen normal charcoal
Did
before
you
and
save
there
that
isn't an
from
on switch,
earlier?
So how do they activate them? I'm so lost.
Mario, thank you for the cutie chan. Thank you, thank you. What the heck? The entire replacement of your protein chains could only have been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance. That word sticks in your mind. Substitution. You say it without thinking. Yes, Jean-Mi reacts as if you were speaking to him. I believe it could only have been achieved with one substance as the carrier. Stabilizer. Stabilizer. The drug SNRP designed to make you dependent on them. The drug Lane fed you to keep you alive. The drug you thought you had escaped. My stabilizer was laced with something? That's what I believe. Jean-Mi looks apologetic. This kind of process, Jean-Mi hesitates now, and you realize the bad news is yet to come. Performed over many, many doses, carefully planned and designed, I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. Jean-Mi looks down. I can say that you're changing. I can tell you how it was achieved, but I can neither stop it nor tell you its ultimate end. I'm sorry. Then what was the point? To understand more, Sleeper, to find answers. I did not promise anything else. I'm sorry, Sleeper. Junie struggles to find words. Perhaps you can find someone else, or she falters. Try again. You don't feel able to respond. You quietly push yourself away from the chair, your thoughts slow to cohere. You glide back to the door, then out into the flow of flotsam, the noise and activity passing by you like smoke. In the haze, you find that word again, substitute, and begin to wonder what exactly it is you are becoming. Seraphin once more finds you in your bunk. He gently prods you with questions, and you quickly relent. You explain that what Jean-Mi said about your suspicions regarding Lane and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he's done listening, you both sit and wait for the moment to pass. And then you leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that the only option is to keep going until you're forced to stop. Damn, dude. I don't know what we're becoming. This is so interesting. Do you know how long I've been holding on to this? Well, considering that comment was left at the beginning of stream, I'd say about 5 hours. 5 hours, dude. All right. I do think this is probably a pretty good spot to leave off. I'm pretty read out. Push, cost, glitch, not stress. Stress effect on neutral and pause. I'm getting this. Okay, so this is fully upgraded now. So now we can focus on upgrading skills after. So, hell yeah, you did, Big. Altered! Sometimes I'm alone. Hello?
Sales sip.
Altered, you're so fucking busted. Dude, you're insane. Thank you so much for the 1K. Jail. You were like permanently imprisoned. Absolutely imprisoned, mate. Thank you so much for the 1K, Altered. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for hanging, guys. Oh, did you get your battle pass and food? Oh, wait, I'm taking care of myself. Are you proud of me? Okay, I just saw it. My bad. I am proud of you. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much, Older. Thank you guys for everything. So many gifties today off Throne. Thank you for all the bits and the resubs. You guys are amazing. Older!
That was incredible, Shepard.
You're so bad, dude. What the fuck? Older, thank you for topping off Daily Big Goal. Dude, thank you so much. You're out of control. You're out of control, mate. Thank you so much, Older. That's okay. I'm bad at math, too. I wouldn't have been able to add that either. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging for audiobook time. I know they're not the most, like, action-packed streams, but I really love... Winter! Dude, thank you so much for the 10-pack. What the fuck? Daily goals crushed on an audiobook day. You guys are insane. Winter, thank you so much for the 10-pack, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Better to be mad at math than bad at math. True. I'm so upset I came here for B content and oh, that's what I got. I love Citizen Sleeper. I really do. They're such good games. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging for Cozy Audiobook Friday. I appreciate you guys. We'll be wrapping up Baldur's Gate 3 Dark Urge tomorrow night. And then we're going to start Stellar Booba on Monday. Thanks to Senpai for gifting that over today as well. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. Seriously, thank you just for hanging out. Your time means so much, and I realize there's so many other things you guys could be doing. So the fact that you guys come to hang out, I appreciate you guys so incredibly much. All right, let's see here, mates. God, I'm so like my throat is dry. All right, you guys. I'm gonna go drop you guys at Ashes. She's playing some Marvel Rivals. She's probably playing with the community if I had to guess. So should be stopping in tomorrow. Just have to make dinner. Yeah, sounds good, Big. But yeah, go say hi to Ash. That girl is my BFF, so go say hi. But yeah, I think she's playing some community Marvel Rivals. But yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. I appreciate you guys so incredibly much, and I will see you guys tomorrow for our Dark Urge finale. Hi Chuck, was gonna lurk. I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I'm ending a tad early. It's just so much reading, and we got to a really good stopping point. So I'm gonna go lubricate. Cause yeah, I'm dead. So much reading. Hi, Lumi. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow for Baldur's Gate 3 finale. And yeah. All right. Have a good Friday night, you guys. Bye.